while the Regina International Airport surpassed 1 million passengers. The city has also secured major future events, including the 2027 Grey Cup and the 2028 Can-Am Police Fire Games. CUPE Saskatchewan says the province needs to focus on workers and public services to address its public deficit. The union represents more than 31,000 frontline workers across Saskatchewan. President Kent Peterson says the province should redirect money spent on temporary employment agencies towards long-term solutions for staffing shortages in healthcare. CUPE is also calling for limits on executive salaries and administrative spending in the Saskatchewan Health Authority, universities, and school divisions. The union says those savings could be invested in frontline services and education. Other recommendations include expanding training opportunities, lowering tuition, and improving support for educational assistance in schools. Saskatchewan officials say staff working at the province's trade office in Dubai are taking precautions as tensions escalate in the Middle East. The United Arab Emirates has been targeted by retaliatory strikes from Iran following attacks by the United States and Israel. Trade and Export Development Minister Warren Kading says Saskatchewan is in regular contact with the office and is monitoring the situation closely. Kading says the province is working with Global Affairs Canada, which provides updates and guidance on the evolving situation. SARM's 121st Annual Convention and Trade Show begins Tuesday at Regina's Rail District, bringing together more than 2,000 delegates from across rural Saskatchewan. The three-day event features opening ceremonies, a fireside chat with the SARM board, and speeches from Premier Scott Moe and Opposition Leader Carla Beck. Delegates will also debate resolutions and meet with government officials. A new app developed by a Saskatoon woman aims to help people break the habit of endless scrolling on their phones. Rhonda Lavoie launched the Paste app on Google Play on February 13th, which also marked her 50th birthday. The Android app lets users set limits on apps like social media, games, or shopping platforms. When time runs out, the app locks access for a set period. Users can shorten that wait by walking, with steps reducing the timer. Lavoie says the idea started as a social media post about losing time while scrolling. An Apple version is expected later this year. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sastoday.ca and 620ckrm.com.
Weather for B&A Petroleum and Swift Current, with multiple locations serving southern Saskatchewan for over 30 years. See B&A Petroleum for all your fuel and propane needs. Weather tonight, clear and a low down to -6. Tomorrow, partly sunny and warm. We're getting up to a high of +6, but it will be windy out of the southwest, 35, gusting up to 50. Mostly cloudy Saturday night, spotty rain showers in the area, a low down to +1. Looking at Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a few sprinkles or flurries late, and a high of 8. Start the week Monday, mix of sun and cloud, and a high of -1, maybe a chance of flurries in the evening. And Tuesday, mix of sun and cloud, and a high of -1. Currently in downtown Regina, clear sky, it is -5.
B&A Petroleum is a Southern Saskatchewan family-owned business that's there for you. They've been supporting their clients for over 30 years with locations in several communities throughout the southern part of the province. B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs, with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Friday edition of the Sports Cage. Thank you for being here and making some time. Whether you're listening on the old 620 CKRM, any of the audio streams, or maybe you're watching along, thank you out there on YouTube through sportscage.com. Colson is with me today. It's for Nelson Homes. home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. What do we got for you today? NHL trade deadline. Oh, a breaking one. Looks like it happened. Nazem Kadri is going back to the Colorado Avalanche. That's late. That's coming in late. Luckily, we got Eric Francis in hour 2. He might have to change his time, Colson, a little bit. In hour 1, we're still waiting because the Vancouver Canucks are doing their presser right now. Farhan Lalji is going to join us from the West Coast. Kelly McClintock from Hockey Saskatchewan in hour 1. We're going to talk about the inductees for this year's Hall of Fame here at Saskatchewan. Sprinkle of the day coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about senior hockey going on, Western Hockey League, SJHL hockey tonight. Big tilt coming up in the female ranks. We'll get to that in a moment. We will have more coming up. Wray Morrison, play-by-play voice of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies hockey team, as they are in the Can West final against Mount Royal, starts tonight in Calgary. Starting hour number 3 will be Andrew Albers, former major leaguer from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, now lives in Saskatoon. He's played in 3 World Baseball Classics. We're going to revisit those. One of them was the Brawl. Canada, Mexico. I think it was 2013. And they threw down. We're going to have some, if you're going to be watching the stream later, we might have some video footage as we ask Andrew Albers about that. So there you go. Full show, lots of fun today. You're always welcome to participate. Please do. On the Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. Prairie Land Rentals located at 600 Albert Street. You get to deal with the owner, whether it's a small job or a big job. They have something that will help you out on the rental side of things there. And then all of our guests today join us. It's Friday. The last thing my wife said to me before we parted ways this morning was, and I'm not cooking tonight, I'm picking up Western Pizza. I'm like, I am down. Western Pizza guest hotline is how all of our clients, that's right, all of our guests join us. Western Pizza tonight, perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites you love. So the trade deadline, 936-6262. This is where you come in. Do you have a team out there? What did your team do? Maybe if you don't have it, if you're like me and you don't really have a team, you're kind of like, okay, now if you're really like me, you're like, okay, now how do the odds change? Who am I sprinkling on? James on the text line, yeah, he's coming through with Kadri going back to the Avalanche. After the Avalanche made the move earlier in the week for a center, I thought that was dead. And listening to things today, one thing I want to ask Eric Francis is, how would it... Kadri said, hey, listen, I want to get traded. I want to go to a contender. I want to be out of here. No offense to anybody, but, how do you go back into the dressing room after that? That would have been awkward. So when it wasn't happening until the final hour here, final minutes, I'm like, okay, because that would have been a sticky situation. Even though he's a character guy, he's going back to where he won a cup. Though, like I said, I thought that when they got Waugh from Toronto, I thought Colorado was out of the Kadri, and I wasn't a Colorado believer. Come at me if you want. But now with a couple of additions, maybe one of the I guess sentimental tug at the feels and heartstrings trades today was Minnesota picking up Nick Foligno from the Chicago Blackhawks. He gets to play with younger brother Marcus now and make a cup run. Sneaky under the radar. The Minnesota Wild. If you heard the interview, it was earlier, and I think one of the things he says right off the hop, like, James Duthie asked him about, his mom looking down at this one, and then the funny thing was, Colson, you got the clip? It's also funny. It's how I guess Nick's wife didn't know and found out in a family group chat.
Was that your first call to Marcus? And if so, when you did talk to him, what was that conversation like?
Yeah, the best part is I called Marcus, which is probably a mistake because then he blew up my family group chat. My wife didn't even know yet. So
now you're in trouble.
So now I'm in trouble. But no, she's thrilled. Everyone's thrilled. And it was an emotional call to Marcus. I mean, listen, we're 4 years apart, but we're as close as ever. We consider each other brothers and best friends, and I think that's something that we're really excited about. We're both invested in each other's success, and to be able to join forces now and go and chase this thing is pretty exciting. And and probably the only reason why I was excited to go to Minnesota is to have this opportunity with a great team and try to do this, with some investment that I already have in it. So, it's
courtesy of TSN there, of course, with James Duthie. So that was funny. The family group chat was blown up. The Shen brothers, some were thinking they would maybe end up together somewhere. Finally playing it, or did they play together in Philadelphia? If I remember correct, or am I wrong on that? Were they there at the same time? But Buffalo, they wanted Colin Parenko, and then he wouldn't waive his no-trade clause to Buffalo. So Buffalo is in the market for some defensive help. They do get the veteran. I don't know how much he'll play, as he was kind of in and out with the Jets. But Luke Shen is going there, and Logan Stanley from the Winnipeg Jets are heading to the Buffalo Sabres. What are people thinking about Buffalo out there this year? Like isn't it? It's rooting for the Buffalo Sabres has got to be a lot like rooting for the Buffalo Bills. Like kind of that, lovable loser. They've never won. Buffalo's hockey team, some of you probably forgot they were in the league the last few years. So it's nice to see them get a few bodies. Braden Shen is not going to the Buffalo Sabres. Braden Shen is going to the island. The New York Islanders picking up Braden Shen. This one, and it's interesting. We talked to Eric Francis a little bit more about this, but the Rat, the Pest, Corey Perry is going back to Tampa. Tampa Bay Lightning, they got a little bit of a wagon thing going this year, so he's going back. I think, and it seems like he's been on a lot of teams. Well, he's been on a number of teams that have made it to the final. We got Montreal, the whole COVID bubble thing. There was Tampa. There was the Oilers. There was Dallas. He went late with Dallas as well. But he never got, I don't think he's ever been traded at the trade deadline. He's always signed as a free agent through the year. So although it seems maybe, because that caught me off guard, that he's been dealt in the trade deadline, but no, he's kind of always just did the free agent thing. But he gets to make another run at a Stanley Cup and going back to where he's familiar in Tampa. Red Wings getting David Perron back. That's kind of an easy transition fit. I expected the Red Wings to do more this year, though, just because of the comments last year towards Stevie Yzerman. They didn't. Who was it that the comments that we didn't really do much last year? So then that's where I was like, okay, well, and then earlier this week on the show we talked about that where you had Detroit. It was Sean McEwen that brought it up, making it seem that Detroit was going to dip their toes in a big way. Connor Garland, we'll talk to Farhan in a bit about that. He's gone from Vancouver, going to Columbus. Is Columbus a sneaky team? And I watched this team kind of closely for the first time the other night. The Anaheim Ducks. They got John Carlson, defensive veteran help there. That's an interesting one. So more trades to talk about throughout the day here on the program. At the Brier, we got to update you, Brier, there. If you're listening to Dave Thomas this morning, another year that we talk about 1980. Another year we talk about Rick Folk. The curse of the corral. The last time Saskatchewan won a Brier. 1980, and it ain't going to happen this year. Neither Saskatchewan team made the playoff round, but wrapping up a little while ago, it was Alberta. And I had a guy text a group, and he likes to sprinkle on curling. He said, what were the odds of Kevin Cooey earlier in the week for Alberta winning the Brier? I'd like to know that. They dumped, in the first playoff game, they dumped Jacobs, Benny Hebert, Team Canada, 7-4. Cooey curling 89%. Brad Jacobs was curling 81% on the day. The other first playoff match was Brad Gushue losing to Matt Dunstone. Matt Dunstone curling 90%. We all remember Matt, don't we? Tears in his eyes last year in that final game. So close, but yet so far. Brad Gushue only curled 78%. So a win there for the Matt Dunstone foursome. Coming up tonight at the Brier, about 5 o'clock our time. We have Gushue taking on taking on Ontario, and the King foursome. And then Manitoba, Calvert against Canada Jacobs. Stay alive time there. That's your Brier update. Hockey in and around Regina Pats tonight. We don't have tickets to give away, unfortunately. Lethbridge in town. Need these 2 points. You can't let a 10th place team in the conference come in and not pick up 2 points. We're here in that race, and it is getting tighter when you got 3 points separating the seventh place Pats with the 8th place Red Deer Rebels, and then 1 point back of that is the Moose Jaw Warriors. Lethbridge here. Moose Jaw is traveling into Saskatoon, take on the Blades. They've qualified for the postseason. They got an X beside their name. They're in. And then Brandon is at Swift Current tonight. Prince Albert at Calgary. So the Idle team in that, or does Red Deer play? Red Deer is in Medicine Hat, but Red Deer went up to PA and knocked them off this week. So, man, but we saw Medicine Hat guns a-blazing in here the other night. And then female AAA U18 playoffs tonight starting. It's going to be a good tilt. Higher seed, the Regina Rebels, they get home ice advantage taking on the Weyburn Gold Wings. Game 1, best-of-3 series, 7:45 at the Sixer. So, female U18 AAA. It should be a good one. We'll talk more about that. We're standing by. We're waiting for Farhan Lalji. When he's done his presser, we'll talk about what happened on the West Coast, whatever else he's got for us when it comes to NHL trade deadline, and we'll sprinkle in some CFL. It's the Sports Cage on this Thursday for Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
This is Country Gold with Steve Harmon, your home for the country hits of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Hello, I'm Steve Harmon, inviting you to join me for Country Gold. Each week we play country favorites from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and we check in with the stars who made them, too. This weekend on Country Gold.
Country Gold, brought to you by Trent Dickin and his experienced team at Flooring Superstore. Saturday mornings at 6 and Sunday afternoons at 4 on the Voice of Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
And we're going to get you back to the cage real quick. Still on the theme of hockey, we've got the Humboldt Broncos cash lottery underway. This is a big fundraiser, and you can do a world of good and have a chance to win some big prizes. How about $100,000 cash? That's the big payout. But big rush right now is the early bird draw tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. The deadline for that tonight at 7 o'clock. And there's also something new this year. It's the cash loyalty draw. $7,000. That'll also be drawn for tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. But you have to be in before 7 tonight to be included on those. And why would you not get in for each and every draw? Because we're just nicely getting started. It's a $100 investment, and that's the way you look at it. It's an investment back into Saskatchewan. Show your love, get your tickets, ask about that 50-50 and so much more. Check out the website, HumboldtBroncos.com, or get on the phone, 1-844-726-2026, 1-844-726-2026.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
When you play Sports Select, you're part of more than the game. You're backing over 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan funded through Sask lotteries. So go ahead, make your picks at sportselect.com, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Every play is 100% legal, and every ticket supports your community. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
When it comes to your financial future, do you know where you're headed or what happens when you retire? That's where Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, and the team at GP Financial Services and Oviso Wealth come in. They offer independent, local advice, smart client-focused planning for every stage of life. Visit gpfinancial.ca. Your family, your plan. With Chad Reach, 306-584-2755.
Mutual funds and other securities are offered through Oviso Wealth, a division of Oviso Financial Inc.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Joining us live from the arena in Vancouver, Farhan Lalji. All right, Pedersen never went. That's why I was waiting for it before we get to any of the other ones. What can you tell us there? Maybe why? They didn't get the asking price, obviously?
I don't think there was ever a chance Pedersen was going to get traded at this deadline. I think that type of contract, with another 6 years left at $11.6 million per, I just think that's a big, big chance to take. If you're an organization, you really need to do some research. You've got to really see how it fits. I mean, everybody's kind of planned out a couple of years ahead, regardless of what stage you're at in your life cycle. And sometimes an opportunity comes and you got to pivot and you got to take a chance. But this is a risk, right? I mean, this is a player that has grossly underperformed for the last 2 years. And only 5 teams or 6 teams in the league have a player that gets paid more than him. So he's going to be your highest priced player in most cases. I just think it's a really, really big risk that you don't just make in a 72-hour period. I think you need to wait. And I think the Canucks and Pedersen would both be better served by a change here, but I just think that probably goes until the summer, and that decision maybe gets made in June.
Which deal so far that the Canucks have made, even going back to the Myers one, which deal did you think benefited the Canucks the most?
Well, I mean, like the Myers one's not going to have necessarily huge benefit. Neither one of them are necessarily going to have huge benefit short term. But for them to get a second and a fourth for Myers, I think is pretty tidy work, right? Even though one of those picks is a bit farther away down the road, and same thing with Garland. For them to be able to get the picks that they did for Garland, I know the 1 second-round pick is 2 years down the line. That's not ideal, but the club has said that they actually did a lot of that on purpose. They wanted to spread out those picks. So either way, they were able to recoup meaningful assets, right? And I know they want to get some players. In a perfect world, they'd get a prospect. Instead of getting a draft pick, they'd get a prospect that maybe hasn't hit in the last year, but is not far away from getting an opportunity to be a full-time NHLer. I think they'd like that just to kind of accelerate the process, but failing that, rebuilding is better than not acquiring any assets back for some of these guys. And, you know, as far as it goes today, I think a lot of people are going to be really disappointed that they weren't able to move off of Evander Kane and Teddy Bluger, both for different reasons. But, you know, asking price is such a big deal, right? When you look at, let's say, the Connor Garland trade and the Tyler Myers trade, both similar trades, but one of them's 36 and has 1 year left. The other one has got 6 years left, and that deflates his value, right? So interesting to see how they weren't able to get it done with the unrestricted free agents that are pending. And, you know, here we are. This is the team, and it's going to be painful around here for a while.
The Kane one, do you think there's anything more to that one? I was surprised on that.
Yeah, I was too, to be honest, Barney, because in the last couple of weeks, I mean, they were talking about potentially getting a third-round pick for him, and they thought that that was going to be out there. And the Canucks were fully willing to retain 50% of his salary. They had one more retention slot. It's a contract that's up at the end of the year. And then I was told that they would settle for a fourth because that's what they got for him, right? That if they could get a fourth without retention, then they would do that. And according to Patrick Allvin, there were no offers today at all on Kane or Bluger, so no last-minute shopping. Because I'd think at this stage, heck, you'd like go take a sixth. Like, just do anything, right, just to kind of get him off the books and move him on. Bluger's a player they really, really like. He's a high-character guy, and I think there's a hope that they could potentially get him extended, and they haven't begun that process yet, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if they got into extension talks, because I think he is a positive culture piece that I think they can provide some leadership going forward, because they moved out a lot of leadership pieces, and now, you know, what are you left with in terms of that? Because, you know, Pettersson might wear an A, but he's not considered by many to be an actual leader on this team, right? So it's they need to add more of that than delete it.
Anything else on the Canucks from this day? From there, how do you cover that team now for the next little bit? You're gonna be digging for some stories.
Like that? Does that work?
Yeah.
You know, where do they aerate in Regina? Like, what farm do they aerate that smells the worst that you drive past on a daily basis coming into work?
Well, the old IPSCO steel plant, sometimes it throw out a weird scent, or the refinery. But yeah,
so these are the IPSCO Canucks for the next 20 games, because it's been really, really gross. I'll try to close my eyes, grin, and bear it. But truly, I want them to get some more young players here. And they do have some young players, and they always say, look, you can't just throw all these young players out there. Why not? Right? Like, this team's going to finish last with a bullet. It's not like they're going to go on any run. I would, and you know, you could certainly make the case that you don't want people exposed to the culture. There's a lot of baggage here, and it shows, right? And there's a lot of players that have kind of given up and are mailing it in. So you don't necessarily want young players exposed to that, but I would bring guys up and see what they can do. I mean, you know, whether you're like a Danila Klamovic, who's a prospect that they thought a few years ago might be a guy and hasn't been given an opportunity yet, or Ty Mueller or some of these guys. There was a report that he might come up, but now maybe he hasn't. Like, I just want to see some of these guys. Achu Ratu. Like, this guy's here. He's ready to be an NHL player, and they can't get him in the lineup. And I don't understand why. Like, just play these guys and see what they've got. And then we can at least – I don't want to – a friend of mine, Rob Williams, Rob the hockey guy who covers the team for the Daily Hive, says, look, I don't mind watching the Canucks lose. I just don't want to see this group of players lose. And I'm kind of the same ilk. Give me some other guys I can look at, even if they're wearing the same uniform.
CFL, I want to ask you a couple of things. The Invitational Combine is on in Waterloo. They're going. Do you know what the record is at the CFL Combine for the 40 by chance?
Oh, I think it's in the high 4.3s. Who set the record? It was Stephen Turner like a decade ago. I'm trying to think who's got it now.
Good job. No, that's what I got. That's what I got is Steve Turner from Bishops, 2010, 4.31.
There you go. Pretty good time, even by NFL Combine standards. How did I pull that one out of my head? I guess I do host the draft, so I should know some of this stuff. And you'd be surprised when you go to this draft.
Second.
Yeah. And when you go to the combine, like the high end at the CFL combine is really, really good, right? And I think what's been most impressive in the last 10 years covering that is the depth of the combine, because the low end that previously the high end would stick out. Now the low end sticks out because there's just so much more depth of talent at a lot of different positions there. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to being in Edmonton at the end of the month to see what this group looks like.
Okay, well, I got to test you now. Do you know who holds the record on the bench press?
Is it Braden Knoll?
No.
Okay.
Wilfrid Laurier, 2011. I don't even know what the asterisk.
Michael Nill.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael Nill. Why did I get Braden Knoll? Braden Knoll's currently playing. Yeah, Michael Nill. I think, what did he put up? He put up over 40.
47. Yeah, you're out of lacrosse practice.
Here, you can take a look. There it is, right there. So this is where the Warriors are going to play tonight, and they're letting some little kids come play today before the game. So that's fun. Good for the kids, right?
Right on. Good job on the trivia, Farhan, on this Friday. Really nice work. All right, man.
I know, and I started on camera today at 5:45 a.m. Pacific time, so I'm feeling it. I posted a picture of myself taking a nap. I got a good 45-minute nap in today in one of the suites, so that they put us in. I brought my own pillow and blanket.
Take the rest of the weekend off. Yeah, or else dig up a fun story of the Canucks. Yeah.
I'm driving to Portland right from here because my son is in a 7-on-7 tournament, so I'm going to leave here, pick him up in Seattle, continue to Portland, get there at about 10:30 tonight. So my day's just begun, buddy.
Wow. Awesome stuff. All right, travel safe. Talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline, it's for the Cooperators every week. Usually our CFL insider, but he covers everything, and obviously he was with the Canucks at 5:45 a.m. Farhan Lalji for the Cooperators. They can build the plan that works for you to get financially fit. Invest in your future together. It's a Sportscage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
To celebrate CKRM's 100th anniversary, we're honoring the icons who helped shape this station into what it is today. Our next 620 CKRM icon inductee, Lorne Harrison. Here's a behind the mic moment with Lorne Harrison.
Found out one time that Charlton Heston was shooting a movie in Western Canada. Said to my girl Friday, find him and we'll put him on the air. And he came on, thanked us for allowing him to use his facilities. We talked about movies. He said he was proud of Ben-Hur, the movie. I said to him, is there a movie that you're not proud of? He says, yes. As a matter of fact, it was a movie called Number One, and it was about an aging quarterback. He said it was a terrible movie. He said the only people who liked it were football players.
To hear the full extended interview, visit our 100th year page at 620ckrm.com or sasktoday.ca. 620 CKRM on location.
Good afternoon. It is time to get a ticket for the Humboldt Broncos Cash Lottery, and we appreciate all your support last year. We appreciate your support this year, and we want to reward you. Maybe you're the one that's going to get the phone call. Congratulations, sir, ma'am. You have just won $100,000. That would be a sweet call to have. But to get that opportunity, you need a ticket. Visa, MasterCard, $100 a pop, or get our 620 CKRM special, 5 for $250. Same with the 50-50. That jackpot has increased greatly. We're now over $65,000 and climbing. Those tickets, $25 each, 10 for $50, or 100 for $100. That's a great deal. To get those tickets and more, pick up the phone, make the call. Deadline to get in the early bird and the loyalty draw is 7 o'clock tonight. 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
Out here in southern Saskatchewan, the sun shows up for work every day. Might as well make it earn its keep. That's where Kelm Solar comes in. These folks travel all over the province helping people put solar on their homes, farms, and cabins. They're local guys, Sask-born, Sask-raised, and not going anywhere. Except, to your place. Now's the time to start planning for spring and summer 2026 bookings. Give Keln Solar a call and they'll come show you your best options. Keln Solar. They move the power so you don't have to. KelnSolar.com.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brant Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months. Plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Did you know over 1.3 million homeowners call on Reliance for their water heater needs? With over 150,000 five-star online reviews and over 60 years experience, you could say Reliance Heath are water heater experts. Switch to Reliance Heath today. They'll give you $200 for all your hot water needs.
Call on Reliance.
Visit waterheaterrentals.com for details. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. 620 CKRM.
Welcome back on this Friday, 936-6262. Some of you hockey fans like Rich is surprised his Oilers didn't do anything. Tony says, bring on another championship in Montreal. I gotta proof some of these. Remind Barney it's Friday. Did I say something? Did I say it was Thursday? Did I say something? Sorry, Roscoe. I don't know. Yeah, and some upsets at the Brier today. You are correct there as well. Habs can't move Patrick Laine. He's so talented but lazy and makes $9 million. Him and Pedersen will eventually end up on an adult safe line in Europe. Jamie's send that one in. Adult safe. Nice 11:30 tilt at night. The fellas out there twirling. Not bad for the Canucks, says Dan. They have a chance at McKenna this year. And then Landon DuPont and Maddox Schultz later on. Oh, look at you looking way down the road. Dano in Regina. Yeah, 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. I said it's a Western Pizza night. It's Friday. Why wouldn't a guy or girl have a little Western Pizza? Let's go to the Western Pizza guest hotline. Joining us from Hockey, Saskatchewan, a friend who's been on the show a number of times, Kelly McClintock. Always curious to see what the beard is going to look like when the video feed kicks in. Kelly, thanks for doing this. We are talking about the 13th annual Ted Knight Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame induction dinner. This year, we're going to Moose Jaw. How do you guys, I guess, take or decide where it's going to be? Is it you like to move it around? Or players, from that area?
Yeah, we want to move it around. And, if we have some inductees or people that have been nominated from that area, then we want to make sure that we recognize them, and it helps bring in a crowd, and the key part in all of that is, one, recognizing people and local people, and then as well as raising money, and we share the revenue with, we'll share it with the Moose Jaw Warriors, and they'll put it to whatever cause they want to.
Okay, let's talk about the player categories this year. We got Ed Staniowski, former Regina Pat great, Brendan Morrow, Kelly Bichard, Douglas Doug Smail. Moose Jaw ties with those fellas.
Yeah, Ed and Doug are both from Moose Jaw. Brendan, he's in the southeast. We haven't had a dinner close, but I believe his mother is living in Moose Jaw, so he's looking forward to coming back and spending time, around the dinner. And Kelly Bichard, we've identified and recognized people like Colleen Sistorix and Haley Wickenheiser, as Fiona Smith as people in our Hall of Fame from a female perspective, and Kelly had played on the national team. She played on our '95 Canada Games team that was pretty successful and won a silver medal. So, we want to recognize, the female players and the female, at times coaches and ultimately coaches and officials that do well from our province.
Grassroots category. I don't know. Is it Jim Large?
Yeah, Jim Large is. Yeah, we try and recognize people like in a grassroots that are from the area that have really contributed to the game that a lot of people don't know. And Jim at one time coached the AAA team in Moose Jaw. One time, I think he was probably the last AAA coach who never got any honorarium or salary, which is a little different than in today's world. But he's done a lot for minor hockey in Moose Jaw, and those are the kind of people that I really like to see get recognized because they're the ones that have contributed to the grassroots development of the game.
And then official category, William Kent Stewart.
Yeah, Kent for many years was the referee in chief for the SJHL and worked with Wayne Cartouche pretty closely. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, but it's just great to recognize what he contributed to the game.
Do you get excited when you get to see an old senior AA team, especially go in the team category? It's the 84-85 Moose Jaw Generals Senior AA team. What can you tell us about the Generals from back then?
Well, I was fortunate or unfortunate to play against them for 4 or 5 years, and we didn't win many games against them because they were really good. And, at that time, there used to be a senior league called the South Central League. There was 3 teams from Regina, the Molson Exports, Westbridge Bruins, Morski Blackhawks, Moose Jaw, Assiniboia, Milestone, and Weyburn. It was a really high-caliber league, and we used to play 30 games back then in a league schedule. But, the Generals were, a tough team to play, but they had a lot of, ex-Moose Jaw Canucks and, from the SJHL at that time, and they added some players and they won the Hardy Cup, which at that time there was an Allen Cup and a Hardy Cup, and they were able to win the Hardy Cup, and they were an exceptional senior hockey team. So it's great to see a couple of the guys were at the announcement in Moose Jaw, and I had played against them, hadn't seen them. We all look a lot older than we did in 84, 85, that's for sure. So, but they're telling me how they still, they're still playing Monday and Thursday afternoons at 1:30, and invited me to come over and have a game once in a while.
Why is this important? As I said at the start of it, it's the 13th annual induction dinner. Why is this so important for Hockey Saskatchewan to now have this 13 years in?
Well, I think for us, we don't do a good job in hockey of recognizing people and recognizing not just the players who go on and do well, but everybody else that contributes to the game. And, players in Southeast Saskatchewan would look up to what Brendan Morrow did and recognize that's where he is. He inspires kids to play just like all the others did, right? I had a little story with Ed Staniowski saying I can remember, getting a chance to shoot a puck at him in the Midtown Mall, the old Midtown Mall in Regina, and I said I was lucky enough to score, and he was like, "No, I never let anybody score." Right? And I went, "Well, yeah, I was pumped because there's no way I, could probably shoot that hard as a 12-year-old, but or 13, whatever it was." But those are the guys that I remember watching. Like the 74 Memorial Cup Pats. Like I used to go to most of the games, and those are the people that inspired me to do better and enjoy the game like I did. And to have people like Jim Large and those are the kind of guys that made the game enjoyable for kids. Or a Kelly Bichard can be an example for young girls that want to get in the game and aspire to play and enjoy the game and do the best they can.
What's the best way for people if they want to get involved with this or go to this? So just go to the hockeysask.ca website?
Yeah, or we're doing it in conjunction with the Moose Jaw Warriors, so you can always there'll be some ticket information coming out shortly, and you can purchase tickets through the Warrior office.
There we go. And just probably a busy time for you guys at the office. All the provincials going on in different levels. I know I've talked to one guy, I'm not going to name drop, one guy who's he's an official, another guy that's got a schedule, sometimes officials. I don't know how they're doing it, Kelly, because you got, senior, junior, minor hockey league, playoffs, provincials, and there's only so many refs.
Yeah, there's so many refs, and and this is the time of year when any type of disciplinary action because of something that happened on the ice is heightened. You know that, right? Yeah. And it is heightened. So situations that have happened during this week, it's like, well, it's the officials, they weren't qualified enough, but you only have so many, right? And so. And the toughest part is, with always have to schedule for Game 3, and then all of a sudden Game 3 doesn't happen. Can you get those guys into a game the next day? Do you bump somebody you've already assigned? So all of those things come into play. And, passion, I'll use the word passion is kind of unbridled at this time of the year when it comes to disciplinary actions.
Right on. Kelly, thanks so much for taking some time. Busy weekend. I'm at rinks. I'm sure you're going to be in and around rinks, and hopefully you don't have any disciplinary action to talk to me about next week.
All right, buddy. Take care.
See you later. From Hockey Saskatchewan, Kelly McClintock, the executive director there. Yeah, if you want to find out more on that, coming up in Moose Jaw, a induction ceremony. You can visit the Moose Jaw Warriors, like he said. It's coming up June 19th. It's a Sports Cage. We'll touch on the WHL in a bit here. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
620 CKRM on location.
1-844-726-2026. That's the all-important phone number to be included. Be involved in the Humboldt Broncos cash lottery. This is going to keep the lights on, pay the bills, the upkeep of the organization, and so much more. And the bills, nothing's cheap anymore, so everybody's got to do what they can do to make things function, and that's the way they're doing it here in the Humboldt Broncos cash lottery. We're going to give you a chance to win $100,000. That's a great return on your investment. For a $100 ticket, even better, you walk around the offices, talk to your friends, get in on the pool tickets. You can get a 5-pack for $250. Those are some pretty big savings, and then you'll be in for all the draws. And make sure you get in at least before 7 o'clock tonight, because we got the early bird draw and the loyalty draw coming up tomorrow. That deadline's 7 tonight. 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Jasmine Brown. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Regina. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Hi, I'm Barbie. I'm terrified of bees. But I'm not afraid of fast internet from Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Get away! With SaskTel's super fast speeds, I can stream, shop, and video chat without anything buzzing around, except my phone. And thanks to reliable Wi-Fi, even my smart doorbell warns me if a bee comes near. Technology 1, bees 0. So if you want fast, reliable internet without the sting, get connected. Contact Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Mooseman today.
Frozen lasagna, medium power, 15 minutes. Sounds like Ojo time. Let's play.
Feel the fun at playojo.net with all your favorite slots and casino games like Jungle Beasts and Sugar Rush, plus exclusive ones you won't find anywhere else.
Hey, I just won. Woohoo!
Feel the fun. Play Ojo.
Honey, forget about lasagna. Let's celebrate.
Open to all players 18 years and older. This is not a gambling site. Please play responsibly.
Thinking about spring already? You're not alone. Before the snow melts, stop by Cash Tactical Regina and get geared up. From rugged clothing, boots, packs, outdoor gear, varmint rifles, ammunition, knives, and more, they've got whatever Saskatchewan throws at you. Spring adventures start with the right gear. Don't wait for the thaw. Get ahead of the season today. Visit Cash Tactical, 7th Ave Regina, in-store or online. Cash Tactical. Be ready for what's next.
Want to get a delicious 50% off? Like now? Skip to the good part and save up to $15 on orders of $30 or more in the Skip app. Use code NOW50 at checkout. Like now. Terms apply only on Skip.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Switch to Reliance today and get $200 cash back with your new water heater. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance.
We talked about a lot of the NHL trades that went down. It's come and gone. The big one late. Nazem Kadri is going back to the Colorado Avalanche. A couple of the other ones quickly. Braden Shen to Long Island. Corey Perry back to Tampa Bay. Western Hockey League tonight at home. The Regina Pats take on the Lethbridge Hurricanes. 7 p.m. Pre-game show starts right here on 620 CKRM at 6:30. Moose Jaw is at Saskatoon. Swift Current Broncos home to the Brandon Wheat Kings, and the Prince Albert Raiders are in Calgary. SJHL, nice tilt. Weyburn at Yorkton, 7 p.m. Battleford's in Flin Flon at 7:30. Nipawin's at Melfort. Estevan welcomes Melville, and Humboldt travels to LaRange. U18 AAA Girls Playoffs start tonight for the Regina Rebels. They host the Weyburn Gold Wings, 7:45 at C6. And NHL teams... Canadian teams in action. Vancouver's in Chicago. Edmonton home to Carolina. Montreal is at Anaheim. And the Brier continues later tonight. If you didn't catch us off the start, tonight it's going to be Gushu up against Ontario and Manitoba Calvert against Brad Jacobs' Canada team, who lost to Kevin Cooey 7-4 earlier. Sports Ticker is for Reliance Heath. Switch to Reliance today. Get $200 cash back with your new water heater. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance. We talked WHL off the start. God, it's a great time. Lots of good hockey. Lots of playoff hockey. Let's go to the Western Pizza guest hotline for a scene setter for tonight. The voice of the Regina Pats, Dante DeCaria, is joining us on that Western Pizza guest hotline. Dante, Lethbridge into town. I said these are the ones. You can't let these 2 points get away.
You cannot, Barney. Yeah, it's a crucial game. I mean, this is one of the most important games of the season. And, you know, I've been kind of running different playoff scenarios and different, you know, magic number type scenarios and stuff like that throughout the week. And really, to keep the Regina Pats, I guess, safe is that they have to win 4 games this month. And they've got 9 games left in the month of March in the next, 19 days or so. And they need to find a way to go 4-5 in the month of March in order to guarantee a spot in the playoffs, versus leaving it in the hands of the Lethbridge Hurricanes or, the Red Deer Rebels or, Swift Current playing Moose Jaw 3 times. They can't allow this to go into the opposition's hands as far as hoping that they lose, because if they win, they guarantee a spot, versus having a look at the scoreboard every night. So it's a big game tonight in Lethbridge. I look at the standings, I look at the schedule right now, and they need to win 4 games this month. They've got 9 games remaining, and so they need to find a way to win four games, and this one is a must-win game.
I look at well, first off, let's ask the question. The youngsters, people always ask, Maddox Schultz, Liam Pugh, will they be in the lineup tonight?
They will be in the lineup. Now, it's quite interesting. You look at, 3 home games remaining. Liam Pugh is eligible to play 4 more games because he's played 30. Maddox Schultz has played 29, so he can play 5 more games. Now, from talking to the hockey side, it sounds like they're going to try to put Liam and Maddox in some road games down the stretch. And don't be surprised if we see Maddox and Liam play on March 15th in Moose Jaw, because that is a must-win game for both teams, and Regina needs to dress their best lineup, and so Maddox and Liam will most likely play in that game on the road. Liam has 4 more games, Maddox has 5, so they can play 5 or 4 of the next 9 games, so they're just going to try to strategically plan on when they'll play. Obviously, there's no question that Liam and Maddox will play in the final home game in the regular season on March 20th. That's a given, but they're just going to have to find which other games they'll play here in the month of March. They are playing tonight, so Liam will be down to 3 games. Maddox will be down to 4. They want to put those 2 players in a situation where they can really help the team win.
Okay, this is the not for they're not going on the long road trip like they do early in the year, but last home game tonight at the Brandt Center before they're off on the road for a few.
That's right. Yeah, tonight Lethbridge Hurricanes in town, and they will play Lethbridge next week. And tomorrow we're going to jump on the bus and head to Calgary, and it's a 2 p.m. start on Sunday. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see either Maddox or Liam on that road trip potentially. I mean, it is a possibility that they'll come because there is a game in Lethbridge coming up next Wednesday that the team needs to desperately win. And I think the odds of the Pats winning with Maddox Schultz in the lineup increases when they play the Lethbridge Hurricanes next Wednesday. And one of the reasons why I say that, and it's not a slight to anybody else, and I don't want to put too much pressure on a 15-year-old, but he really has played so well in the last month, and he's really developed some strong chemistry with Keats Fawcett and Zach Lansard. And to me, why would you want to break up that line? They've been so dynamic and so good together. It really adds a top 6 center to your lineup, despite Maddox only being 16 years old. So I think if you're head coach Brad Haroff and you lose those 2 centers in your lineup, and you lose in particular Maddox, who plays that first line and is like 57% on faceoffs, then it's almost like a little bit of a hole. When you can insert him in your lineup and move guys like Clausen, Moore, Durkach, and Miette down, it just makes your team that much better, just because Maddox is playing on the top line. He's taking on those tough matchups as far as faceoffs, and he's like literally the best faceoff guy on the team.
I'm interested. I'm not going to say I'm scared if you're a Pats fan. Red Deer's in Medicine Hat tonight. Deer the other night, winning in Paradise against the Raiders, their goalie stood on their head. But tonight they play that Medicine Hat team, which I saw the other night with my own eyeballs. They're good. You cannot give the puck up to a team like Medicine Hat.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a game that the Pats definitely want to forget. Losing 11-2 to a Medicine Hat Tigers team that they're going to have to play on Tuesday is not easy for the morale. So hopefully they're able to bounce back tonight. If you want to, I guess, play devil's advocate and you want to look at the schedule, you can say, okay, this is probably a loss for the Red Deer Rebels. They're still 3 points back. Moose Jaw's 4 points back. If you get a win tonight against Lethbridge, you move 5 points ahead of Red Deer and 6 points ahead of Moose Jaw, which would be great heading into a 3-4 stretch through the province of Alberta. That would be the most ideal situation, but don't count out the Red Deer Rebels, as you alluded to earlier, Barney. They did beat Prince Albert in comeback fashion. They were down 3-1 in the third, and they ended up, scoring a handful of unanswered goals to win the game. So Prince Albert's a very good team. Medicine Hat's a very good team. We'll have to wait and see on how that goes. So, it's interesting. Moose Jaw definitely has the lightest schedule. They'll play Lethbridge and the Swift Current Broncos combined between the two teams 4 times, 3 against Swift and once against Lethbridge. So I know a lot of fans out there are looking at Moose Jaw's schedule and they're like, well, they're automatically guaranteed to get in. So I guess we'll have to see if Swift Current or Lethbridge play spoiler. I mean, that's why you play the games, right? Like, the season series between Regina and Lethbridge is 1-1. Lethbridge defeated Regina 6-2 back in January, the last time these two teams met. So it's not a guaranteed win. The Pats are going to have to play their best, and the same goes for the Moose Jaw Warriors if they want to sneak into a playoff spot.
All right. Thanks for doing this, Dante, and we'll see how it shakes down tonight under the orange top at the Brandt Center. Voice of the Regina Pats, Dante DeCaria. 6:30 pregame show right here on 620 CKRM. It is the Sports Cage. We still got more coming up. We're waiting to hear if Eric Francis is going to be able to join us. He might not be able to. He might be up to his eyeballs in things. But we got to hear from Andrew Albers, former Major League Baseball pitcher who's played in the World Classic of Baseball, which starts for Canada tomorrow. Also, Wray Morrison, voice of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, as they get set to take on Mount Royal in the Can West Championships. It is a Sports Cage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. It's for Nelson Homes on Friday. Home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Of course, we're on 620 CKRM.
We We are the voice of Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock in Regina. Good afternoon. I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News. Tourism in Regina surged in 2025, surpassing pre-pandemic levels and generating major economic impact for the city. Officials say tourism actively increased by 20%, producing more than $135 million in estimated economic benefits. More than 170,000 event visitors came through Regina during the year. The city hosted more than 80 national and regional events, including the Vanier Cup and the Skills Canada National Competition. Hotel occupancy climbed to 56%, near matching pre-pandemic levels, while the Regina International Airport recorded more than 1 million passengers. City officials say the growth reflects years of focus on event building and tourism promotion designed to bring more visitors to the Saskatchewan capital. A public sector union in Saskatchewan says investing in workers and public services is key to reducing the province's budget deficit. QP Saskatchewan, which represents about 31,000 frontline workers, has released its plan for improving the province's finances. Union President Kent Peterson says stronger wages for healthcare workers and improved retention in the health system should be a priority. QP is also calling on the government to redirect spending for temporary staffing agencies to long-term staffing solutions. The union says limiting executive salaries and reducing administrative costs in universities, school divisions, and the Saskatchewan Health Authority could free up money for frontline services. Tensions in the Middle East are being closely monitored by the government of Saskatchewan as the conflict escalates in the region. Recent missile strikes involving Iran, the United States, and Israel have led to retaliatory attacks across parts of the Middle East. Saskatchewan Trade and Export Development Minister Warren Kading says the province has been in near daily contact with the staff at its trade office in Dubai. Local staff who work in the Dubai office have been asked to work from home. Kading says the province is relying heavily on guidance from Global Affairs Canada, which oversees the diplomatic mission where Saskatchewan's trade office is located. SARM will welcome more than 2,000 delegates to Regina next week as its 121st annual convention and trade show begins at the Real District. Rural leaders from across Saskatchewan will meet from March 10th to 12th to discuss issues affecting rural communities and hear from provincial officials. The event includes opening ceremonies, a fireside chat with the SARM board, and speeches from Premier Scott Moe and opposition leader Carla Beck. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com.
Winter's coming. Is your home ready? At Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they install high-efficiency brine furnaces that keep your family cozy while saving energy and money. Their professional team takes care of everything, from installation to long-term service, so your home stays warm for years to come. Call 781-2090 or visit broncoplumbing.com today. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, and Bryant, whatever it takes.
620 CKRM on location.
And here we are. We're into the final push. I'm going to be around until at least through this hour, and we want to remind you about the Humboldt Broncos Cash Lottery. One of the great lotteries in the province, and it's going to do a world of good. It's when you buy a ticket for a Saskatchewan organization or group, it's Saskatchewan Helping Saskatchewan. So show your love. Help out the Humboldt Broncos Cash Lottery and a chance to earn $100,000. That's nice. $100 investment, or even better, if you buy a 5-pack for $250. We've also got the 50-50. When all said and done, the payout should be about $100,000 in that one. Those are going for $25 each, 10 for $50, or the best deal, $100 for $100. So for your money, you're going to get a lot of draws and a lot of chances. And it all starts tomorrow. We've got the early bird and the cash loyalty draws at 2. You have to be in before 7 o'clock tonight. Visa, MasterCard, 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
Brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina. Weather tonight, clear and a low down to -6. Tomorrow, partly sunny and warm. We're getting up to a high of +6, but it will be windy out of the southwest, 35, gusting up to 50. Mostly cloudy Saturday night, spotty rain showers in the area, a low down to +1. Looking at Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a few sprinkles or flurries late, and a high of 8. Start the week Monday, mix of sun and cloud, and a high of -1, maybe a chance of flurries in the evening. And Tuesday, mix of sun and cloud, and a high of -1. Currently in downtown Regina, clear sky, it is -5.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now next gen coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings, 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
SaskToday.ca is your local news source, proudly serving communities all across Saskatchewan. Sask Today's team of local journalists are on the ground focusing on local topics that matter to you. From agriculture, local community news, sports, and more. Find it all at SaskToday.ca. Sign up for our daily news digest at SaskToday.ca. From Harvard Media, everywhere.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
NHL trade deadline day. Second hour of the Sports Cage on this day. It's just me and Colson. Eric Francis, because Craig Conroy is having a press conference at 3:10 Berta time, 4:10 our time. So it doesn't look good for franchise, for Eric Francis today. We'll still try though. Maybe hour 3. Check in with the guys in Winnipeg too, if anyone can join us out of the Jets reporters. The big trade though came down late, real late. I thought it was dead in the water. Nazem Kadri is going back to the Colorado Avalanche. Come on. Hit me, 936-6262. Prairieland Rentals text line. Is Colorado the favorite now? The whole shebang just out of the West? Because they get Waugh from Toronto the other day, and then now they get Kadri. And a 4th-round pick going to Colorado for Victor Olofsson, Max Curran, a conditional 2028 first-round pick. So 2028. Is that Maddox Schultz's?
That is.
So then next year, Landon DuPont.
Yeah, I think so.
2027, they get a second-round conditional pick.
I'm trying
to
see
Calgary Flames.
If I can find the audio, but apparently TSN got Kadri on, and when they asked him what he thought about his trade coming down 60 minutes after the deadline, he was like, "That's an absolute sweat. I didn't even know it could happen that long after."
Yeah, try and grab that.
I'm looking for it. I haven't found it yet, but
that'll be good.
That is hilarious, though. 60 minutes after the deadline. Oh, by the way, let me slide this in here real quick.
Curtis has texted in. He's all in on the Buffalo Sabres. I can't believe what we're saying. Can you hear that? All in on the Buffalo Sabres.
Is this Curtis like a few offices down, like our Curtis? Or is this different Curtis?
Maybe he's found some of Grandpa's cough medicine back there. Buffalo got Tanner Pearson late from the Winnipeg Jets. Maybe a depth piece. Sorry to the Pearson family, but now he's got a chance. What else did Buffalo do? Well, they got Luke Shen from the Winnipeg Jets, along with Logan Stanley. So those went to Buffalo. They got Sam Carrick from the New York Rangers, a depth center there as well. So, I don't know, can we be like Curtis? Can we say we're all in on the Buffalo Sabres? Okay, here's something I did earlier today. And we're going to run through this. This could be our Eric Francis insider and sprinkle of the day, Colson. We can do sprinkle of the day right now for Sports Select. I don't know if Lotto Lawrence is listening up in Saskatoon, but I know there's some other guys that send in 936-6262 their handicap of events or their bets that they would make. Okay, I'm going to the sportselect.com and I'm going under futures. Y'all know I like my futures. So when I say a future, you're betting on the championship of something. You can bet soccer, NCAA baseball. I didn't even know they had that. PWHL, Mexican Liga soccer, and obviously NASCAR, which we talked about yesterday. But they have the I want to see the updated NHL. If you're watching on the stream, Colson's got it, sportsselect.com. And so let's now look after the trade deadline, because maybe they haven't changed some of these, and you can run straight to your Lotto Spot retailer, scan the QR code, and boom. Okay, Stanley Cup final. I know they have the finalists.
You want winner?
Down at the yeah. Where is it? I'm trying to find it on mine. Norris Trophy winner.
It should be at the bottom.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So this morning, the top odds to win the Stanley Cup were the Colorado Avalanche at 345. Still the Colorado Avalanche at Sports Select at 340. The next favorite this morning, the Tampa Bay Lightning, 425. They stay at 425. Carolina, 575 there. The Vegas Golden Knights. So these haven't changed. What about the Minnesota Wild? You're still showing Minnesota at 1550.
I mean, the Sabres are right there at 21.
Curtis, run to the credit union right now. If you are that in on the Buffalo Sabres, look at those odds. That means if you had put down, if you wanted to, I think the minimum bet's actually $2 on Sports Select. $2, you would win $84. 1-42, right? Man, 21. Buffalo. Minnesota's 1550. Oh, this makes things real interesting. Definitely real interesting. If you want to go long shots, maybe some of you out there are what about my team? Barry, what do you think about my New York Islanders? 44. Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Scary. And they picked up Carlson, the defenseman, today. They still I know. They got to make it. Yes, they have to make it.
Is anyone surprised to see Vancouver at the bottom?
Yeah, no. Vancouver's in next year country. They're Bouchard Gardens time for them. But, Winnipeg ain't going anywhere, right? They're 207-1. So it's interesting. The future odds haven't changed with all the trades since this morning. I'm very, very, very... Well, Colson, okay, you don't really have an NHL team, and I know you don't gamble.
Yep.
But where did you see value there? From what you know today, because now since you're on the Sportscage, like you are entrenched in sports, and probably the trade deadline more so than ever, and it was busy. I don't know about the big blockbuster that I thought we would see, but it was busy. So
Yeah.
where do you like the value?
Well, I do like the value we've already highlighted, the Sabres and the Wild. If we're going for a longer shot, yeah, you did say the Anaheim Ducks. That one stuck out to me at 7.
Okay, so Anaheim right now isn't in a playoff spot.
So
49 points. They're battling in the Pacific. They're 2 back of the Kraken, and then they're 2 back of San Jose in the wild card. Nashville still sniffing around. They did nothing.
You know who
Los Angeles got rid of guys.
could be sneaky? Is the Sharks.
Yep.
Because they're paying $233.
I don't. You know what? That's a kind of a why wouldn't a guy?
And they are
Or
3
girl.
points out of a wild card spot right now.
They're in a wild card.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. They're 3 points out.
San Jose. What do you got? 51 points.
64. Yeah, let me refresh.
You know, it's wild card right now sitting Utah and San Jose.
Mine says Utah and Seattle. Where are you looking at yours?
NHL.com.
So am I.
But I don't mind San Jose there.
Yeah.
As a long.
We all saw Celebrini at the Olympics, right?
Shut him. Yeah.
I'm just saying, kid can play. If you're wanting a long shot.
Yeah, no,
wouldn't the
67.
guy?
You do have it is Seattle and Utah. I know what I was looking at. I was living in the past, man. You were living in the past. Don't we want to go? Don't we want to go back to the past? Speaking of the past, let's do this in trade deadline. On this day in sports history.
Okay.
When Colin does his next hit, he might remember this one. 1922. Babe Ruth signs 3-year contract with the New York Yankees worth $52,000 a year.
I'm sure Colin knows that one. I'm not sure he remembers it, but oh boy.
1919 NHL championship. Montreal Canadiens beat Ottawa Senators 3-1 with 1 tie. So we're complaining about the gold medal game going to 3-on-3. We've complained about shootouts. Back in 1919, some guys were riding the train wearing the top hats and the long pea coats, and they said, you know what we should do? Cecil. I'm sure one of the guys' names was Cecil. We should have a championship series, but we should allow ties. Now that sounds like a good idea. What's another good name from the 1920s? Cecil Wassel? I think I had a Guido named Wassel. Never met him. Yeah, Babe Ruth, 3-year contract with the Yankees.
You know what's
$52,000.
You know what's nuts? Like, they had ties for a long time in the NHL still.
Oh yeah, that's my era. Ties in the NHL is my era.
Like
right now,
I'm trying to figure out when the last season you could have had a tie in was, because in '83 they introduced overtime for the first time, but if the overtime ended, it was still a tie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure that out.
You know who was born on this day?
Was this also in 1922 or is more recent?
1946. Born on this day, Murray Head.
80 years old.
Anybody know who Murray Head is in this room? It's kind of a common name.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
UK singer, 1984, number 12 U.S. charts, went to number 3. The Murray Head song. And you know what? Let's see. 936-6262. Prairieland Rentals text line. What UK singer was born on this day? Yes, named Murray Head. Bulls fan. YouTube chat. He's keep the change. He's like, don't screw around with. I know my one night in Bangkok and Murray Head. You ever heard that song, Coulson? Please say you've heard One Night in Bangkok.
The number of songs I don't know the name of, but I know the song is a lot. So there's a chance I've heard it and I recognize it, but I'll listen to it in commercials so we don't get flagged.
Well, that's the thing. It's or else you could do it like Glenn Suter and just hold your phone up to the mic. Bangkok, Oriental setting, and the city don't know that the city is getting. The creme de la creme of the chess world in a show with everything but Yul Brynner. One night. I'm listening to One Night in Bangkok with my windows down on the way home now. It's the Sports Cage on Friday, NHL trade deadline day. There's don't lie, a few of you out there listening to Murray Head tonight as well. 936-6262 if you want to play along. We're streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Regina Pats hockey.
Partial breakaway, right side stops. He scores!
Then at Dunlop Ford, Regina Pats hockey is back on your official voice of the Pats. 620 CKRM.
Tune into Puck Drop tonight at 7 when the Lethbridge Hurricanes take on the Regina Pats at the Brandt Center.
Game day tickets are available now from the Pats box office. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen on air or online at 620CKRM.com. Regina Pats hockey. 620 CKRM on location.
Good afternoon. Just got word from Amy that our 50-50 is now over $65,000 for the Humboldt Broncos cash lottery. Big lottery, big chances to win. $100,000 could be yours, plus so much more. We're getting started. It all starts tomorrow. Got a couple of big draws. The early bird draw for $10,000. Also the $7,000 in cash loyalty draws. Those will take place at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The deadline for those draws tonight at 7 o'clock, so don't put it off any longer. Get in for each and every draw. We're starting here with $100,000 for the grand prize. That's going to happen April the 11th. You've got time to get in, but you don't have time for those two big draws tomorrow. So it is crunch time, and we'd love to include you. Again, our 50-50 is over $65,000. Those take us $25 each, 10 for 50 or 100 for 100. The grand prize draws, all those subsidiary draws, and so much more. It's a $100 ticket. We can do better, though. How about 5 for $250? Get yours. 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
If you're thinking about an exterior upgrade this year, let Freeze Tallman do the work for you. Freeze Tallman installs. From siding and roofing to fencing, decking, garage packages, windows, and doors. Skilled crews, quality materials, and a job done right. From start to finish. And right now, they're taking pre-bookings so you can plan ahead with confidence. Visit FreezeTallman.com. Freeze Tallman. Locally owned, family grown, rooted in our community for 70 years. Back to our regular spot, Pump Jacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought Pump Jacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me in meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
This is Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions. Successful farmers and business owners, I have two quick questions for you. First, how are you going to get your corporate retained earnings and profits out of your operating company to fund your retirement? Secondly, how are you going to do that without paying too much income tax? If you don't know the answer to either question, call me, Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533, or go to smartinvestingsolutions.ca.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brandt Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Keln Solar. You know they can help with your livestock opportunity. But now book your solar quotes for your home, farm, or cabin. Save money with the local company, Keln Solar in Lumsden.
I don't know. Clutch performers, we could go a few different ways today. At the Brier, Kevin Cooey and his foursome from Alberta is rolling. And not a lot of people expected that. I'd like to know what the odds were on Cooey to bet on him to win the Brier. He dumped the Jacobs foursome, Ben Hebert, Team Canada 7-4 earlier today. So now he will take on Dunstone, who dumped Gushu tomorrow night. So lives are on the line tonight. It's going to be Ontario and Newfoundland, Calvert, Manitoba team against Jacobs from Canada. So yeah, Kevin Cooey is one. Do you got one, Colson?
I got a couple here. Going to give one to Chris McFarland for sneaking that trade for Kadrian an hour after the deadline. That's pretty clutch.
Yeah, do you like they say how that happens, right? Like, remember back in the day, it was like, and the fax machine, we gotta wait. Wait. Yeah. Now it's like, come on.
Exactly. So clutch performer for that action there. And then I believe this was the match before what we were just talking about. So Dunstone's match against Newfoundland. This is in the second end. It was the third making a shot here.
If you're watching the stream, this shot's amazing. Love curling shots like this.
Just gotta be at the nose already to get to the inside.
So it looks like I think they're trying to do a double run back. But clip the guard.
Oh, this was today. This is the page 1-2 qualifier.
Yeah. So clip the guard, hit the other red guard by accident, and it runs back to do the double takeout still. So just like how they drew it up, right?
That was Dunstone's third.
Yeah.
Which is Colton Lott.
There we go.
Ronnie's nephew. Curled 80% on the day. Yeah, good. Clutch performer. Keln Solar.
I got another one if you want.
Oh, do you? Take it.
All right. Saw this yesterday evening. I thought, oh, this is pretty funny. You always talk about how like grade 7 girls basketball is like the wildest thing ever.
Oh,
right?
yeah, man.
Well, this isn't grade 7. It's high school.
Mm-hmm.
But high school girls basketball, I believe it's a state championship or a semifinal, something on the line. You know,
people that haven't listened, just why? Because it's like I think it'd be such a fun game to fun gamble on. Elementary basketball. Because you could go 6 minutes without a basket.
Yep.
But it's just back and forth intensity, and the ball's bouncing off rims, it's bouncing off backboards. It's an awesome watch.
The over-under is 22.5, but you're like, I don't know. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I forget the team names, but here, let me throw the audio on real quick.
Point basket pretty quickly if you need
So
one.
full court
You got to
press.
get it in, though. They do go for the quick
Steal.
steal on the baseline
Throws the two up.
inbounds.
It's now
The
a
clock
2-point
does not
game.
stop in high school
Baseline,
basketball. It
Yep.
continues to
Steal
run.
again,
And they
same
turn it
player.
over. Smid for two more. She
And then
scores.
tie game.
4 straight for Smid.
Full
We're
press
tied.
again.
42,
Steals
42.
again.
Smid again.
And doesn't rebound it in. 3 baskets from the baseline.
From the same player, 3 straight
What
baskets.
just happened?
Take the lead. And it's
Nobody
high school
knows.
basketball.
Ava
So
Smith
the clock
has scored
runs.
6
So this
straight.
whole time
Dallas
the
Center
clock is
Grimes
running
leads for the
until
first
I think
time
the
in the
team
game
finally
with
takes a
19
timeout.
seconds to
And
go.
this is the first lead of the game with 19 seconds left.
So listening on radio, not or any of the streams, she was trying to inbound it.
Yeah.
From the baseline, picked off, basket. Then they tried to inbound it again. Girl picked it off again, basket. That happened 3 times.
3 times in a row to go from a 4-point deficit to a 2-point lead with 19 seconds left. And again, it's a state championship or like a semifinal to get there or something.
If somebody was gambling on that, if there was like some street hustle going on, if there was a guy in a trench coat on the top of the bleachers and he's losing his marbles. That's because he's losing action on
After the third basket, he probably just turned and walked out. He's like, nope.
That was wild.
Yeah. And I'm also wondering, like, again, if the clock is running, when is the coach calling a timeout here? After they're down already?
But I've played high school basketball. Like when the ball is the clock running when the ball, it's not until it comes in.
That's what the announcer said. One of the announcers said the clock is running. It doesn't stop. So why didn't he call a timeout? So that's just, I'm going off the video clip. I don't know.
He's probably having a nosebleed that they got picked off 3 times in a row. That doesn't happen.
No.
That never happens.
By the same player, too. Like, she didn't move, 10 feet that whole time? Just pivoting down there?
She literally ran in the same 4 feet by 4 feet box and kept pulling it off. That's
amateur
cool.
sports, I get it. Pro sports are fun to watch, but amateur sports are an entirely different kind of exciting.
Sign me up for elementary basketball any day of the week. City final. Like you said, over under just 26.5. Actually, the boys, my boy, they lost in the city final a couple of years ago. It was pretty good. I think the team they played this is elementary school basketball in Regina. Was it St. Angela? St. Angela, their team, they had 2 players that could dunk.
What grade is this?
Grade 8.
Oh, man. I wish.
Yeah.
I couldn't dunk at grade 8.
My son's team, which they gave him a battle, they're just sitting there warming up, just watching them across. It was like, when teams used to warm up against the Russians in hockey, or the Canadians, for that mean.
I'm trying to find here, because my brothers have been playing basketball the last few weekends, and I don't see where the text is.
You got to show them that inbound.
Yeah. Well, so I'll give a quick clutch performer to my second youngest brother in my family, Isaac, because it was last weekend. They were playing in Moose Jaw, and he got subbed into the game, started the fourth quarter, and they were down 26 or something. The other team only scored 4 points, and they ended up winning. So he got subbed in and sent them on like a 30-4 run. Like a 36-4 run. Yeah. To win the game. And so.
Love it.
Hey, we'll take that. Yeah.
Well, how did you not give him a clutch performer until Friday?
Because I can't find the text.
He should have been out of the gate on Monday, the first show. Okay.
He's also a 16-year-old. You can't let his head get too big.
For Kelton Solar, thinking about solar, saving some money on your house, farm, cabin, whatever. They're starting to price out their spring and summer installs. Local team, family-run business in Lumsden, Saskatchewan, Kelton Solar. I got to go back to the Prairie Land Rentals text line here momentarily because Craig in Yorkton. I knew somebody was going to text in about it. Only time I heard One Night in Bangkok was Mike Tyson singing it on Hangover 2. I don't think I've seen Hangover 2. Is Hangover 2 worth watching, Craig? The full show? Or can I just pull that clip and watch that clip? Because I do want to see Mike Tyson singing Murray Head, One Night in Bangkok. Roscoe says, I worked for a guy named Cecil and had an uncle Percy. He said Percy's an old name. I went Cecil, Wussel, Cecil, Percy. There we go. Next time we need old names, we're going there. Yeah. Jeff says, it is worth watching. Hangover 2. All right.
I found the text. So they scored 30 straight points in the fourth quarter and held the other team to 5 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah. Which I'm just saying that other coach was probably pulling his hair out.
Murray Head, One Night in Bangkok would be a good warm-up tune for basketball. We were talking about that with Suits this week. I remember he dropped the bomb on me. I remember going to Brit in 1983. That was who dropped the bomb on me? Who sang that one? You dropped the bomb on me. I should know. Don't tell me. Let me grind over this out of break. We're gonna come back from break and we're gonna talk to. Give me a hint. Just give me a first initial.
First, 3 words. First word is the.
Oh, the something club?
No, something band.
Gap band.
There you go.
Oh, I mean, that's embarrassing. I should have got that way there. Let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Ray Morrison about the U of S Huskies and Mount Royal clash for the championship in Can West hockey. A lot of WHL names, SJHL names on both of these teams. We'll talk to Ray when we come back. It's a Sports Cage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
620 CKRM on location.
And here we go. Humboldt Broncos cash lottery underway, and we're going to wrap things up at 7 o'clock tonight, and we're going to give it all away tomorrow. That's where we're going to start off with the early bird draw and the loyalty draw. So the early bird is $10,000. The cash loyalty draw is $7,000. And if you're going to get a ticket, utilize the value. Get your tickets, be in for each and every draw. Do your part. Saskatchewan loving Saskatchewan. Help out. Have a chance to win $100,000 and more. And again, so some big draws tomorrow. Deadline tonight at 7 o'clock. Don't put it off any longer. Our 50-50 is now over $65,000 and climbing. Those tickets $25 each. 10 for 50, 100 for 100. Visa, MasterCard. Check out the website, HumboldtBroncos.com. Do some e-commercing. Or better yet, talk to one of our great volunteers. 1-844-726-2026. That's 1-844-726-2026.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
After shuttling the kids to hockey, dance, piano, and what was next? Sumo wrestling? The last thing you want to do is cook. Imagine this instead. Piping hot Western pizza loaded with cheese, melty toppings, and that perfect crispy crust ready to hit the table in minutes. No chopping, no stirring, no mess. Just a warm, delicious reward for surviving the day. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today before your stomach demands its own carpool.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything, our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision Center, we're Saskatchewan owned, run, and we drive these roads too. An SGI accredited full-service collision center working on all makes and models. Submit your SGI claim and book your appraisal. It's easy. When you need repairs you can trust, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Regina Motor Products Collision Center, south at Highways 1 and 6 Albert Street, rmpchevrolet.com.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
The Early Bird Spring Sale is on now at Extreme Hockey and Sport. The entire store is 15 to 25% off. Brands like Yeti, CCM, Bauer, all clothing and apparel. If it's in stock, it's on sale, and it must go to make room for new product. All purchases in February qualify for a custom Yeti summer package valued at $5,000. Locally owned, community-focused Extreme Hockey and Sport. 1425 McIntyre Street, conveniently located at the Cooperator Center, and online at extremehockey.net.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
This is Sports Cage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Back to the Sports Cage on this Friday for Nelson Homes, RTMs and home packages for over 65 years. Let's go to the Western Pizza guest hotline. Western Pizza tonight. It's Friday. I know that's what we're getting tonight. Wray Morrison is joining us, doing play-by-play for the U of S Husky hockey team. He's from huskyfan.ca. Wray, in Calgary, Alberta, calling championship hockey. Things are pretty good in your world.
Life is pretty good, and not only that, we've got a 12-degree day going here and 17 tomorrow. So we'll take that out here. So a little bit of sunshine, not much snow around here. So no, things are good.
I want to start with Huskies are at the Can West Championship again, and I know there was some years, obviously, they haven't made it every year. But are they close to the record leaders in Western Canada when it comes to getting to this championship game?
Well, after you texted me that question, I went to Mr. Google, and unfortunately, I didn't find out the answer. I was hoping that I'd sound really smart. But I will say, so from 1958 to 1989, Claire Drake was the head coach of the Alberta Golden Bears, a legend, right? And by the time the Huskies had won their first Canada West banner through the 1970s, Alberta had already won 5 banners. So I'm probably thinking that maybe Alberta might have the edge on them. It is still wild to think, though, Barney, that from 1998 to 2020, there was a 25-year span where only the U of S Huskies or the Alberta Golden Bears won a Canada West title, right? Alberta won, I think, 17, and the Huskies maybe won 7 or 8 in that 25-year stretch. So just dominance from those two programs. It's obviously not like that anymore with Mount Royal and UBC and Calgary, and it's just much better and just much more exciting now.
For sure. We might as well throw Rob Dom's name in there, too, speaking of coaching legends for the Alberta squad for many years. Let's talk about this Husky team here. What's this? I was looking through the roster. Obviously, kids from all over, WHL experience, some that have played some pro already. What's this Husky team? What's the identity of it, I guess?
Brandon Cote likes really fast centers, really big forwards, and a transition game among defensemen that is something that opposing teams have to deal with, right? So those are the sort of hallmarks of any good team, but that's what he really likes. He really likes small, speedy centers that can move up and down the wing. But it's so interesting because you mentioned Mount Royal. Bert Gilling, the former Estevan Bruin, a Manitoba product. He played down at Bemidji State, by the way, as well. But his program, what he's done in Mount Royal, pretty much it's pretty much hockey, right, Barney? It's those things that make you win. And you know university sport is a little bit of a different animal in that the average age can be 21, 22, 23. There's not as much ice as in junior hockey, and thus there aren't really any stars because there's not much separation between the teams. Mm-hmm. The Huskies had 1 fewer win and 1 more loss than Mount Royal in the regular season. And now here we go for a second straight year in a best-of-3 series to see who's going to win this banner. So, every team tries to play that way. The one thing Brandon has done, boy, the players he brought in this year, Nolan Meyer, the goaltender, he held the WHL record in career wins in 2023. Well, he comes back and he does a great job. And Connor Roulette is leading the Canada West, or led the Canada West in regular season in scoring. In rookie scoring, pardon me. So those are 2 players that just come in and make a difference right away that go up against the Mount Royal team that, they have veterans too. They got a great team, and Josh Tarswell and Connor Bouchard, and their goaltender Shane Farkas is a veteran goaltender. He's good too. So I can't wait to get this thing going.
I'm thinking going back to covering those Husky men's hockey teams that seem to make the final or just lose to Alberta in the early 2000s. Obviously, Mount Royal was in the other league. I think they were more playing the SAIT and the Nates and all that. Yeah. Where is this Mount Royal program, second straight year in the final? Where does this thing come from? What year? What can you tell us about that, Ray?
Well, they came in, I think it was 2014. I think Bert Gilling was their coach when they came into Canada West Hockey, and he's done an amazing job with that program. He really has. Bert's a very sharp guy. Like I said, he's got his sort of style and players that he likes. What's really impressive about him, though, is you think about coaching in a market where you have the Calgary Dinos, you have the Hitmen, you have the Wranglers, right? You got a lot going on here in Calgary, but he's done a terrific job of that program over the last couple of years, and they were so impressive to watch this year. I think they might have had 6 regulation losses in the 28 games that they played. So they are just a good, sound hockey team, right? And the Huskies only had 7. So you're literally dealing with best on best here tonight or this weekend. But that's sort of the story of that program, right? Just finding really good players, being able to sell your program. That's the other thing where Bert does a great job, is that to sell your academic program in Mount Royal, where the University of Calgary sits. That's noteworthy too. So it's been impressive to watch.
What's up? Before I let you go, too, got to ask you, what's up with the women's basketball team? Because they're at nationals. Yep. So they won 71-55 over UBC last night. Lisa Tomaitis going for a second straight championship. What was interesting was the 8-seeded Laval Rouge-Or upset, used to be Ryerson. It's Toronto Metropolitan. They were the top-ranked team. So now the Huskies take on the 8-seed Laval in the semifinal. But, there's no easy road. Calgary beat the Huskies in the Canada West semifinals this year. The Dinos are still in contention here. They're the Canada West champions. They will take on UNB in the other semifinal tomorrow. So, but that matchup tomorrow is going to be at 4:00 with the Huskies and Laval on Husky Van. Yeah, just drive people. Where do people go watch the hockey game tonight and everything? Just give that a plug too, Ray.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's radio, it's audio. It's on huskyfan.ca. So there's 4 different channels there: basketball, men's hockey, women's hockey, and football. So come 7:45 tonight, you click on the men's hockey channel at huskyfan.ca, and I'll be at the Flames Community Arena with the call of Game 1 of that best of 3. And then tomorrow at 4, you go to the basketball channel on Husky Fan, and Ryan Flaherty's in Quebec City, and he will have the call of that Husky game against Laval.
I was wondering if you were taking some sort of red eye out of Calgary to Quebec City and then back. No, that's not possible. Unless they're getting Ray a PJ from Creosaire. I don't think that's...
I'm old enough... I'm old enough to remember Consumers Distributing like you have in your Twitter bylines. So those days of extensive travel are just long gone for me, buddy. That's it.
I'd love to go back to that smell of a Consumers Distributing. And
there you go.
Through the magazine and all. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right on, Ray K. Have a great call tonight. As always, thanks so much for doing this with us here on the Sports Cage, and go Huskies.
Have an awesome weekend, Marty. Thanks so much.
Okay. You can find it at huskyfan.ca. That's Ray Morrison from up in, usually Saskatoon, following the Huskies. Huskies versus Mount Royal, Canada West Hockey Chapter. You go through the Huskies roster as well. Lots of WHL, Regina Pats, guys from, around the area. And then you go through Mount Royal, same thing. It's like, this kid's name, remember that kid's name. So it should be a good one. We're on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM, and we're also streaming through our YouTube channel if you want to watch along at sportscage.com.
Hi, it's Perry Nias. I'm glad you're listening because this station, 620 CKRM, turns 100 this year, riding shotgun through harvest, highways, and home games, which means somewhere along the way, you've got a story. Whatever it is, we want to hear it. Leave a voicemail at 306-546-6230. 620 CKRM, 100 years young and just getting warmed up.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
20, 10, that's 12-5.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
days are shorter, it's colder out, you're heading home, and your stomach is making that sound like it's sucking up to your spine. How about a delicious Western pizza? Imagine it, a golden, crispy crust holding a mountain of melty cheese, savory pepperoni, fresh veggies, and that perfect drizzle of sauce. Every bite is warm and exactly what your cold, hungry self ordered. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today before your stomach starts making demands.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Jasmine Brown, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Regina. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Manage your cash flow and ensure you have Co-op diesel when you need it most. Seeding is a busy time of year. You need to get the crops in the ground without delay. This spring, take advantage of Co-op's early delivery program to fill your tanks and keep your cash flowing. Purchase your Co-op diesel by April 30th. Don't pay until May 31st. With Co-op, you can get fuel now and pay later. Contact your local Co-op fuel team to book your delivery.
Out here, business still begins with a conversation, a handshake, a look in the eye, a moment that can change everything. At Canada's Farm Show, Regina, Saskatchewan, presented by Bunge, those moments turn into partnerships that last season after season. Meet the producers planning their next harvest and the companies ready to help them grow. March 17th to 19th at Real District in Regina. Canada's Farm Show, where big deals grow. Visit Canada's Farm Show, reginask.ca today.
Want to get a delicious 50% off? Like now? Skip to the good part and save up to $15 on orders of $30 or more in the Skip app. Use code NOW50 at checkout. Like now. Terms apply only on Skip.
It's time for the Sports Ticker.
It is for home of the price match guarantee. Extreme Hockey and Sport. Right now, they got up to 20% off in their pre-spring sale. Okay, NHL trade deadline has come and gone. Big one that came down late. You missed it. Nazem Kadri is on his way to Colorado. Craig Conroy got that deal done. Good news for Flames fans, getting some prospects and picks back. Buffalo's getting Luke Shen and Logan Stanley from Winnipeg. Nick Foligno going to play with his brother in Minnesota, getting traded from Chicago. Bobby McMahon to Seattle from Toronto. Corey Perry back in Tampa. We'll run down more of the trade deadline here. Ticker. This is just the ticker portion of things. Western Hockey League tonight. At home, Regina Pats need these 2 points. Need these 2 points. Lethbridge Hurricanes in town. You can hear it right here on 620 CKRM, starting with the pregame show at 6:30. Other Saskatchewan teams, Moose Jaw is in Saskatoon. Moose Jaw is needing points there. Brandon traveling into Swift Current to take on the Broncos. And Prince Albert is at the Calgary Hitmen. SJHL hockey, the Weyburn Red Wings, Yorkton Terriers. Good till tonight in Yorkton, 7 p.m. Puck drop. Battleford's North Stars in Flin Flon. Measuring stick for the Stars. 7:30 Nipawins at Melfort. Melville travels to Estevan. Larange home to Humboldt. U18 AAA Girls Playoffs. Game 1 starts tonight. Big one at C6. The Regina Rebels and the Weyburn Goldwings. Starts at 7:45. Heck, we'll give a little Junior C. Coppell Valley High Hockey League Junior C. It's the Regina River Rats, Wolseley Mustangs, best of 3, game 1. Davidson Cyclones, Emerald Park Wizards, 8:15, game 1. Some senior tonight. Tilt. We got Q-Par at Milestone. 8 p.m. That's D. That's game 1. Also, Rosetown at Outlook, game 2. Rosetown leads 1-0 there at the Brier. We continue. Longest ticker ever. Cooey's rink out of Alberta. They came out of nowhere. They defeated Jacobs. They're moving on to the game tomorrow night, and Jacobs got to go tonight against Manitoba Calvert. Also, earlier today, Gushu losing to Dunstone 7-5. So Gushu's going to take on Ontario tonight. And the Canadian teams in action in the National Hockey League. Vancouver's at Chicago, Edmonton home to Carolina, and Montreal is in Anaheim. Whew. That was a lot for the Extreme Hockey and Sport. 2 locations in Regina, McIntyre Cooperator Center, now in Moose Jaw, Temple Garden Center, home of the Price Match Guarantee. They're local. They support local extreme hockey and sport. Colson, we're going out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. We got a call. See, these are the kind of fans. I don't mind the text line, the Prairie Land Rentals text line, but if you want to call and vent about your team and the trade deadline, you can call in, like John, the Habs fan. John, what are you thinking about the Habs today?
Well, Barney, I'm a little disappointed they didn't do anything.
But what? The rebuild's going the way it's supposed to go, though. That's the only scary thing. Do you really want to disrupt anything there?
Well, Barney, when you don't really give up much off your roster, and you do it. It's different if you have an impact, when you trade a player off your roster. But if you can make yourself better without giving up much, you have to look at it. I mean, look at Buffalo's better today. Detroit's better today. Columbus added a piece, and they're only 5 or 6 points behind us. So this is 2 years in a row that Kent Hughes hasn't done anything.
So you're thinking more give up the picks. Don't give up anybody.
I would have given up, for example, Barney, Michael Hage is a great prospect, and he's tearing up the NCAA. But if you can get Robert Thomas, who's 26 years old and fits the mold of what they're doing, and he's a back-to-back 80-plus point center, and he's won a Stanley Cup, and you have Nick Suzuki as your number 1 center, both those guys make you elite down the middle. And you probably have the best center ice in the Atlantic Division. Those guys help you win.
I would, I like, and like Bulls fan here is messaging in, trust the process. He's telling John, I like what Montreal is doing. I'm not a Habs fan by any means, but I'm like, I would be scared to disrupt anything. The only thing, if there would have been a way to maybe get a goaltender, one of the couple of the bigger names out there. Now, I don't know if they have no trade clauses to Canada, but what about the goaltending situation there, John?
Well, Barney, Jakub Dovish has only had 1 loss in his last 12 games. You play him. I don't understand the Montembeault playing him. I mean, he's terrible. Let's not kid ourselves here. But they have Jacob Fowler, who's their goaltender of the future. And in the 10 games, he looked really good. And I would bring him up and I'd play him. I mean, I don't know, Barney, if you remember in the 70s when they did that with Ken Dryden in his first year, he won the Stanley Cup.
They did that with Patrick Waugh, didn't they?
They also did it with Ken Dryden.
Oh yeah, see, I'm a 77 birthday, but I remember 86, and this guy with this weird neck guard stringed around his jersey, and he had the brown pads and a blue blocker, and making kick saves and challenging guys. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm not saying Fowler would have did that, but when you have a goalie like that, you got nothing to lose. I was kind of surprised that they didn't, maybe for a short term, to maybe add a little bit, just some veteran experience.
Yeah,
but I just. I don't understand. I guess the prices were a little too high.
Yeah, that would definitely. I think they're smart. I like it, man. And I know that's an emotional 24-hour rule. If we were on tomorrow, I'd say call back in 24 hours and let me know how you feel. But no, you're a passionate guy. Okay, in closing, because we're up against the clock here, I want to ask you, confidence level out of 100 that you guys are making the playoffs.
Well, Barney, if after today, I would probably still say 85%.
Yeah, okay. That's where I would be. I'd be in that 80s as well. I think you're okay. John.
I think so, but this is also a chance to where you could have made a move, a needle move, and win a round, just to send, to let the teams in the league know that, hey, yes, we're still in a rebuild, but we won and we're coming.
You guys are good. Okay. Well, thanks, John. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Barney.
Have a good weekend.
You.
Yeah.
Bye.
John, the Habs fan, joining us on the Western Pizza hotline. You can call in 936-62. See, John has the cojones to call in and let us know what he thinks. You guys go ahead, 936-62, but we're getting up against the clock. I got time for a couple of these text messages, maybe. This is Antoine. Okay, Antoine got back to us. Antoine, where you been? Text in more often. He says, sprinkle of the day, USA versus Brazil World Baseball Classic. Americans are sitting minus 10,000 with a 14.5 over-under. I said, okay, that's good, but what are you playing? And he says, the under is tempting. They ended the Japan-Taipei game after 7, 13-0. Oh, we got blowouts. What time is that game tonight? We're talking to Andrew Albers in hour 3. I'm going to ask Andrew Albers about the World Baseball Classic Brawl.
7 p.m. our time.
Oh. Yeah, maybe take the under. Antoine, I like that under. I like that under action at sportsselect.com. What is it paying? Under is paying $195. Let's run to the Lotto Spot retailer together. Yeah, Antoine, text in more. I like that action right there. James is saying Celtics Jason Tatum returns tonight NBA after ruptured Achilles only 10 months ago. Amazing. You know what I heard? I think it was on ESPN, James, about that. Not that I'm a big basketball guy. I love watching the NBA final, though. Is they did the surgery so quick, like the doctor was in the building. I don't think they cut him open and did it at the building, but it was done so quick. That's why he came back. He's only 10 months. Aaron Rodgers came back quick too, or almost came back. Doing crazy things with the Achilles now. My worst fear, knock on wood. I'm gonna blow my Achilles doing something stupid. That's why I'm staying away from those pickleball courts, things like that. But I'll go tonight and skate and get hurt, guaranteed. Speaking of, there's some good hockey games to get to tonight. If you're not going to the Brandt Center, maybe Senior in Milestone, Q Park in town. The Wick up NOD, Regina Aces, Prairie Storm, U15 AA Game 2. Aces trying to stay alive. I heard they're having a big ceremony before, like 15 minutes long. It's a Sports Cage. We'll be back hour 3. Andrew Albers will join us. Hear from Farhan Lalji if you missed it in hour 1, and a whole lot more. Call in if you want, 936-6262. We'll be back after the news.
We are 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station. Streaming online at 620CKRM.com.
Good evening, I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound in Fort Capel. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711 and brought to you by the Capital Automotive Group. Capital's 100K giveaway is back. See capital100k.ca for more information. Regina's tourism sector posted a strong recovery in 2025. City officials say tourism activity rose by 20% compared to previous years, generating more than $135 million in economic impact. More than 170,000 visitors attended events in Regina during the year. The city hosted more than 80 national and regional events, including the Vanier Cup and the Skills Canada National Competition. Officials say attracting major sporting events, conferences, and cultural attractions has helped position Regina as a competitive host city in Canada's mid-sized tourism market. QP Saskatchewan is outlining its proposals for tackling the province's budget deficit. The union says stronger investment in workers and public services is needed to stabilize Saskatchewan's finances. QP Saskatchewan President Kent Peterson says higher wages for healthcare workers and improved retention are critical for the system. The union is also calling for reductions in executive pay and administrative costs in universities, school divisions, and at the Saskatchewan Health Authority. QP says that those savings should be redirected to frontline services. Other proposals include increased training opportunities and lower tuition to prepare workers for jobs in healthcare, education, and the skilled trades. The Saskatchewan government says it's staying in close contact with its staff at its trade office in Dubai as tensions rise in the Middle East. Missile strikes and retaliations involving Iran, the United States, and Israel have created uncertainty across the region. Trade and Export Development Minister Warren Kading says Saskatchewan officials are communicating with the Dubai office almost daily. Kading says the province is coordinating with Global Affairs Canada for updates on security conditions and risk assessments in the region. More than 2,000 people are expected in Regina next week as SARM hosts its 121st annual convention at the trade show at Real District. Delegates from rural municipalities will meet March 10th to 12th to debate resolutions, connect with government, and discuss rural issues. Highlights include opening ceremonies, a fireside chat with the SARM board, and speeches from Premier Scott Moe and Opposition Leader Carla Beck. A Saskatoon entrepreneur is hoping to help people regain control of their screen time with a new app launched on her 50th birthday. Rhonda Lavoie's Paste app is now available on Android devices through Google Play. The app limits time spent on selected apps such as social media or games before locking them for a cooldown period. Users can reduce the wait by walking, with every 100 steps cutting 3 minutes from the timer. Lavoie says the idea came from her own struggle with endless scrolling. She and her team are now working to release an Apple version later this year. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sastoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
Capital's 100K giveaway is back for 2026. The Capital Automotive Group is giving away $100,000 in cash and prizes with no strings attached. We're proud to be part of communities across Western Canada, and we know it's those communities that allow us to exist. So every once in a while, once a year to be exact, we're going to say thanks by giving away $100,000 in cash and prizes. To learn more and enter to win, check out capital100k.ca. Capital's 100K giveaway. Do not miss it.
Picture this. You sit down to watch TV and suddenly your screen freezes harder than a triple axle. If you're ready for a smoother routine, Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has a better idea. Max TV Stream. More streaming, less buffering. A performance that actually sticks the landing. And while you're at it, glide into fast SaskTel internet and cell phone packages that are balanced, reliable, and make sense for your household. Smart entertainment, smart connectivity. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Qu'Appelle. EchoSound.ca.
Brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina.
We'll continue to see a few clouds around the region tonight as a weak trough of low pressure settles off into Montana and eventually into the Dakotas tomorrow morning. Otherwise, looks like a pretty quiet weekend. We'll see a bit of cloud from time to time, and by Sunday afternoon, a risk of a snow shower as a cold front approaches from Alberta. Temperatures will stay mild through the weekend. Our forecast details, partly cloudy tonight. We're down to -7. West to southwest winds will be light. There's a 20% chance of precipitation. Partly sunny and warm, 6 degrees tomorrow. West to northwest winds increase to 20 to 35, gusting to 50 in the afternoon. Partly cloudy near 0 Saturday night. Steady west to southwest winds at 20 to 35. Partly sunny skies Sunday with a snow shower late in the day and a high near 7. Westerly winds at 20 to 35. Lots of sunshine Monday, cooler, -2. Partly sunny near 0 on Tuesday. With your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, this is meteorologist Russ Murley.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now Next Gen Coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed. Just the name. Next Gen Coatings. 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Okay, hour 3 weekend around the corner. Sports Cage, Colson's with me for Nelson Homes, RTMs and home packages for over 65 years. Trade deadline today. Covered a lot of it. We're having fun. The text message. Those I gotta proofread some of those. Somebody's texting me about Consumers Distributing. Talking to Wray Morrison. Isn't it the best? And here, Colson, you definitely. I might as well speaking to a Martian about this. But so get this straight. Consumers Distributing, Colson. I'm gonna try and paint a picture. It was a store, not a department store. So, where was it in Regina? Because I know of it in Saskatoon. There was one on A Street, one on 22nd Street. In Regina, there was one on North, maybe South Albert. So not a very big storefront. I would say similar to Napa Auto Parts.
Okay.
Kind of store. Okay, so picture that as the storefront, but then behind the counter is where all the magic happens.
Yeah.
And there was a slot, maybe 2 slots. Come on, people, help me out here. 936-6263. Anyway, you'd go into everybody got the catalog. You got the catalog in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Catalogs were a big thing back then. Mail was a big thing. So it was Consumers Distributing, and I don't know, they came out twice a year. So there was a getting into winter one with the Christmas stuff and then a summer one. And so you'd flip through this catalog, and everything was numbered.
Yep.
Like TM98516. So you knew, like, circle it. I know, I'll tell you some things I bought from Consumers Distributing. I bought my first ever and probably my only ever calculator watch. Elementary school. Calculator watches, when those things come out, speaking of being from another planet, I saved up and I went to Consumers Distributing. So you'd go there and then they would have these catalogs all out on a counter, and they had like this on them, like a covering.
Yeah.
So you'd flip through them all and be like, there it is. And then you would take this slip, and again, people, help me. You'd take the slip to the counter, and they would hand it to the people in the back, and now it's cross fingers time and hope it was in stock. I don't know, maybe you might have been able to tell if it was in stock before, but these people in the back, you couldn't see them. It was just a slot, man. It was a wild time. It's just a slot. So they're going through the shelving units, right?
Yeah.
Going KTTTM 9851, boom. Be like, yep. And then all of a sudden, your slip would come back through the slot with the box.
There you go.
Pay dirt. Let's go. Calculator watch time. Wrestlers, the old wrestler. I was big into wrestlers when I was a kid. And I was going there all the time. I knew exactly when the trucks would come in. It was like Tuesdays or whatever, and I'd call, I'd be like, did you guys get in Sergeant Slaughter? Nope, sorry. It was a tough one to get. Sergeant Slaughter and Jimmy Superfly Snuka were tough. But man, Consumers. So when Wray Morrison and I talked about Consumers.
Yeah, the Consumers Distributing filed for bankruptcy in 96. That's a year before I was born. So
Yeah, tough times. You know what? The business, when you think about it, though, the business model wasn't that bad, as far as you didn't have a lot of overhead, except for the warehousing part.
Yeah.
But no, it's basically, it was Amazon in your hometown, kind of.
Yeah. The thing I'm reading here says internet shopping before the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Great way to put it. That was a trip down memory lane. I can smell consumers distributing.
They topped $1 billion in revenue in 1998.
But they filed for bankruptcy in 96?
In 1988, filed for bankruptcy in 96.
Oh, in 88 they made a bill?
Yeah.
You know how much money that was in 88?
It was a lot of money. Hold on.
Oh.
You think that's USD or CAD?
That's right around the times that I would have been contributing to that bottom line, because that's when I would have bought my calculator watch. It's right around there.
So you contributed to it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Consumers distributing. Time machine. Really need to come up with a time machine. Someone needs to make one of those. NHL trade deadline today. Running it down if you missed any of it. Calgary Flame fans, happy. Couple texted in. They got Kadri on the outs. Nazem Kadri is off to the Colorado Avalanche.
Last thing, 1,000,000,098 or in 88 is about 2.75 billion today. So pretty good. Anyways,
they did well.
Just like the Avalanche.
Well, yeah. Now the Avalanche. I wasn't a believer, but they loaded up Kadri, and then going back to Calgary, Victor Olofsson, Max Curran, a conditional first-round pick in 2028, which we figure 2026, Landon DuPont's 2027, Maddox Schultz 2028 should be.
Yeah.
So that was the late one that came on. What else?
According to Elite Prospects, 2028.
Buffalo, they got Tanner Pearson. They picked up Luke Shen. Also Logan Stanley from Winnipeg. Sam Carrick is going to Buffalo from the New York Rangers. Connor Garland. Farhan Lalji is going to join us a bit later in this hour. Again, if you missed it in hour one, talking trades. Vancouver did kind of what he expected. He didn't think Elias Pettersson was going to be moved. That would have been, I think, solid.
You mentioned the Flames retaining contract in that deal for Kadri?
How much are they? Was it $7 million a year?
Yeah, they're retaining $1.4 million.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Good move, Colorado.
Another thing that I just saw right now. Did you hear, switching to football, Drew Dahlman, the Bears center, retired?
No.
He's like 27 years old. Only played like 5 years. And so they just traded for the Patriots' Garrett Bradbury.
They got Garrett Bradbury from the Patriots?
Yeah. Sorry. Just to throw a curveball at you.
Ed on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. Consumers in Regina was just north of the corner of Albert and Dudney. Yeah, Albert and Dudney on the west, where one of the province's toughest McDonald's is. It's where it's that car. Now it's car lots every other year or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's it. All the buildings looked exactly the same too. They all look like that. That a boy, Ed. There had to have been two though in Regina. There would have had to have been another one somewhere.
Carrie in Regina. The first thing when I got my first visa, the first thing I did was go to Consumers and buy a Sega.
I'm not positive, but I think I went next door to Bonanza, scarfed down a steak and shrimp on one of their prison trays.
Boy.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you? I would love to have, I think someone should come up with a food truck and call it Bonanza and just have chicken Monterey and then their little sirloin steaks. I'm not a shrimp guy, so I don't know. The Fresh Tastics food bar. Let's go. Yeah, Sega. So are you talking like the original Sega or Sega Genesis? Carrie, because there was the original Sega, which was kind of meh. We got to have Harry on one day, and we just got to do a video games episode. We talk best sports video games of all time. That'll be right up Harry's alley. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't have a name on this one.
I'm trying to find it, but I
know a guy who bought his wife's engagement ring at Consumers Distributing. That is awesome.
That's Baden.
Oh man, that's good. 936-6262 Prairieland Rentals text line. Prairieland Rentals, so you get to deal with the owner at 600 Albers Street. He's the kind of guy that would remember Consumers. You could go in there and talk Consumers Distributing. An engagement ring. Oh man, and that calculator watch that I bought, that was next level. It was unbelievable. Like, you know how cool you were if you had a calculator watch?
I had a buddy in high school who had a calculator watch, so I am aware.
Hockey, lots going on in the area today. We'll touch on that coming up in the sports ticker for you curling fans. This must be live. Yeah, we're in the first end. Page 3-4 qualifier. Gushu, who lost earlier, is taking on Ontario. Then the other game that's firing right now is Manitoba Calvert against Jacobs. Team Canada. I'm getting, here we go, personal phones buzzing at my first set of golf clubs came from Consumers Distributing. You know it. Yeah. See, there were some things they couldn't put into the slot, if I remember. Or no, it was big, but if you went in and bought a bike or a fireplace, kayak, I don't know, they would bring it around the door. You were special. They open up the door and go in.
And you could buy literally anything.
Well,
bike, fireplace, kayak.
I bet you could look up online and show me a 1989 Consumers Distributing catalog. Man, this could be a trip down memory lane. That'd be a good air freshener for my vehicle. Consumers Distributing catalog things. Oh, it smells so good. It was bad. It was better than Sears. It was better than the Bay. It was better than Eaton's. I didn't mind Woolworths, Kresge's, but I'm a Consumers Distributing guy through and through.
I might have found one for you. Just give me a second to...
See, and then, we can go to break. When we go to break, you flip through that thing. And it's, as my mom would say, soup to nuts in there. You get a little bit of everything. Regina Pats tonight in action at the Brandt Center. Big 2 points because they need them, because they can't drop 2 points to the Lethbridge Hurricanes. 7 p.m. puck drop there. If you want to listen along, pregame show starts at 6:30 right here on 620 CKRM. Moose Jaw Warriors, who are in ninth right now. Technically, they're 1 point back of the Red Deer Rebels. Moose Jaw is in Saskatoon. Red Deer is playing against those high-powered Medicine Hat Tigers that we saw a couple of nights ago here in Regina. You looking through it? You look like you're just having a great time.
Oh, I'm just trying to get it so I can show it in a second, but it's just somebody's pictures of one. So it's not the full meal deal, but it's pretty good.
You're going to show it on the stream?
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. There it is. That's your Consumers. What year do we got there? Transformers?
It's 1985, 85, 86 general catalog.
Yeah, I was never really into Transformers all that much. Or any of these toys, not my thing. But yeah, keep going. Painting the picture for people listening. He-Man. G.I. Joe. Again, I kind of put all my eggs... Oh, stop right there. I put all my eggs in wrestlers. That thing at the bottom, Colson, if you can figure it out. Oh, Lord. If anybody is born mid-70s to 80, how much does it say? 278? I would like to get the full picture of that thing. Can you figure out the name? It was a robot.
The Omnibot?
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, 278.88.
Omnibot. I got to look it up. That was... that was a next level. Your mom had a fur coat, and you guys had a swimming pool. If you had Omnibot?
Yeah.
1985.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that a while ago and being like, what was the name of that stupid robot? And they would have commercials on at Saturday morning cartoons is when you just sucked all the kids in with everything. So they'd have these Omnibots. Is that what they're called? Tommy. What does that say? And they would suck the kids in with asking their parents to buy. And there's not even I'm sure a lot of you out there too. Like, you weren't asking for that. Tommy Omnibot 2000, personal robot. A 26-inch tall, high-tech toy robot designed for the home, which was a major trend during the 1985 Christmas season.
There you go.
Price originally retailed for around $4.99 USD, though often found for less later in the year.
Oof.
It is often remembered as a status symbol toy from the mid-'80s. Oh, if I don't accomplish anything for the rest of the month, we figured out it was called Omnibot. Because I was trying to think about it a little while ago.
There's only like 2 more pages of pictures. One's bikes and one's Legos. So yeah.
Yeah, lots of bikes. Yeah, they would have moved a lot of bikes. Well, yeah. Well, see, those are go-kart. That Knight Rider thing, and then that little go-kart thing, and then that Knight Rider 3, the trike.
Yeah.
Only $28.88. But yeah, I wasn't getting any of that stuff. That was expensive. And Lego. Yeah, I was much of a Lego person. My parents probably liked that I wasn't a Lego person. Consumer distributing. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Andrew Albers, when we come back, former Major League pitcher from North Battleford, now lives in Saskatoon. He's pitched in 3 World Baseball Championships, and he was involved in the brawl. We're going to talk to him when we come back. It's a Sports Cage on 620 CKRM.
You probably don't remember the first time you heard CKRM, but you were there. Maybe it was playing in your parents' kitchen. Maybe it kept you company on a long drive home. Maybe it was the voice guiding you through stories that mattered. For 100 years, CKRM has been part of your days. And behind each broadcast, the icons who made it all possible. This year, we celebrate them and 620 CKRM's 100th anniversary. Join us on Saturday, July 18th at the Connexus Arts Center for 100 years in one night. An unforgettable night of stories with a delicious meal included. Tickets go on sale Wednesday, March 25th at noon at the Connexus Arts Center box office or at connexusartscenter.ca. 100 years in one night. Brought to you by Heartland Livestock Yorkton, Souls Harbor Rescue Mission, Connexus Arts Center, Olympic RTMs, Nick's Service in Emerald Park, and YAC Auctions.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10, that's 12.5.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Ever seen a cow in a toque or a sweater?
You probably could. They're not fans of winter either. When it's freezing out, your herd still needs water. But good luck convincing them to trek half a mile through snowdrifts for a drink. That's where Keln Solar comes in. Their solar livestock watering systems let you drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no drama. So let the cows stay cozy. You move the water. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
NHL trade deadline day, the big names that went, well, it's a little subjective, I guess, but Nazem Kadri goes late back to Colorado from Calgary. They got that deal done. I like Nick Foligno going to Minnesota, play with his brother. Minnesota's loading up a bit. Connor Garland from Vancouver to Columbus. I'll talk to Farhan Lalji in a bit about that. David Perron, really the only move the Wings made was getting him from the Sens, and he's aging. Anaheim getting John Carlson from Washington. A lot of emotion from the players in Washington today. That's how much Carlson meant. The Shen boys are moved. Luke is going to the Buffalo Sabres along with Logan Stanley from Winnipeg. Braden Shen going to the Island. All right, you can look it all up. We'll talk more about that in a bit with Farhan. Western Hockey League, Lethbridge in Regina, 7 p.m. Other Saskatchewan teams. Moose Jaw needs points in Saskatoon. Swift Current is home to Brandon. And Prince Albert's at the Calgary Hitmen. In the SJ, Weyburn at Yorkton. Battleford's Flin Flon. Melfort home to Nipawin. Melville traveling into Estevan. Humboldt is at LaRange. U18 AAA girls. It starts tonight. Let's throw down at the Sixer. 7:45. Red Deer. The Regina Rebels' first game welcoming the Weyburn Gold Wings. Best of 3 series. That is game 1. At the Brier, currently they're on the ice. Gushu taking on Ontario, and it's Manitoba Calvert's team against Team Canada. Team Canada lost Benny Hebert's boys to Cooey out of, who would have thought, out of Alberta that Kevin Cooey would be on a roll at the Brier. NHL teams, Canadian tonight. Vancouver's in Chicago. Edmonton home to Carolina, and Montreal's at Anaheim. It's for Regina Steelcraft Doors, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. The World Baseball Classic is here. Wouldn't it be great to see a Canada versus U.S. final in this? I don't even know if that can happen, if that's possible, but Canada starts. The tourney's already started. Canada's first game is tomorrow against the Colombians, home of Shakira. It is 10 a.m. our time, Canada-Colombia at the World Baseball Classic. Okay, joining us again, like I said, our local baseball expert, originally from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, played in the major leagues and played in the World Baseball Classic 3 times. Andrew Albers is joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Andrew, the World Baseball Classic is here. There is a lot of hype, I feel, around this year's event. Are you feeling that as a baseball guy? I know you're still training kids and all that. Or is there a little more hype this year, do you feel?
It's hard to say. I guess my role in it has changed a little bit. I certainly got excited about it a little bit more as a player when I was getting to go play in them. So it's hard to tell. You certainly hear people talking about it, and I know in our office at work there at Going Yard, we're excited to see it and excited to watch it. And the event's just become so great because so many great ball players have started participating in it, and it really has become a showcase of world talent. So it's a lot of fun to watch, and I certainly enjoy it.
When you go back to your 3 events, were they all pretty similar, or did the games at the events, did they evolve through the years as well, or was it all pretty much the same?
I think there's ebbs and flows. I mean, for us, especially in Canada, it kind of depends on who you can get out in a given year. There's always contract situations or guys coming off of years where they want to make sure that they're in camp and things like that. And so you just never quite know who you're going to get or if they're coming off injuries and whatnot. And certainly for me, I know in 13 we had a pretty good club. We were a couple outs away from advancing. Unfortunately, weren't able to get it done. And then in 17, we were maybe a little bit weaker. We didn't have some of the guys that we would have liked to have had, and didn't put up as good of a showing as we would have liked. And then in 23, same thing. We had a good team there, and you could kind of see the change in the guard going a little bit younger, and I think you see that in this group this year. And so, you know, at least for Canada, you never know. The games themselves are a lot of fun. You know, again, people take them seriously. They take great pride in representing various countries that they have affiliations with, and you know, once you get on there, especially in the game of baseball, one game can go any way. So it's a high pressure tournament, something you don't get a lot in baseball because there's, you know, obviously a long season and then 7-game series so often, and so it's a little bit of a different feel that way when you get into the international baseball, but nothing better than putting Canada across your chest and going out to compete against the best in the world.
You talk about that pressure and you know, the one-game showdowns and all that. It must be difficult because it is so early in the season. Like, this is spring training time, and not that I'm sure spring training can be rigorous and have its own battles as well, but we're so early here. Is it hard to get the juices and the competitive I guess, flow going when it's so early in the year?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's hard to get the juices going. You're not quite where you'd want to be necessarily. Like, you're not mid-season form yet for a lot of those guys, especially some of the veterans who know how long of a season it is, and we're kind of guaranteed roster spots going into spring. You know, they're not quite in mid-season form yet. But at the same time, you know, once you're going out and competing, you know, it's everything you got on any given day. And there's no problem getting up for those games. There's no problem getting the competitive juices flowing. You're just maybe not quite as sharp or as locked in as you would like to be if you're kind of mid-season or looking at that postseason kind of deal.
When in your 3 events, was there ever one that, you know, maybe you were kind of battling an injury or there was something going on that you were like, well, I need to think about it? Or were you 1,000% in every time you got that call?
I was pretty fortunate that way. I was always in a position where my affiliated club would let me go play, and always felt healthy going into spring. Obviously, in 2023, I didn't have an affiliate there, so it was kind of still coming off. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to play anymore or not as far as affiliated ball goes, and unfortunately, that didn't work out. But in 13 and 17, 13 I was with the Twins, still in the minors, was really kind of an afterthought as far as the big league club or anything like that. And then also in 17, I was over with the Braves, and they let me go as well. So they were easy decisions for me. I was never kind of trying to make a team at a camp. Knew I wasn't in the running for that going into big league camp and things like that. So for me, I've always relished the opportunity to play for Canada. And whenever Greg Hamilton's given me the call, if I've been able to, I've always suited up. They've been some of the best memories I've had in my career, and it was always a lot of fun.
You talk about this year's team. Maybe they're going a little bit younger. Have you looked at the roster? Do you know any names? Can you shed any light on that for us?
Yeah, know most of the guys. A lot of the guys I've played with. You're starting to see a little bit of a transfer into some youth. You know, unfortunately, you don't have kind of the big superstar names that we've had in the past. Guys like Justin Morneau and Joey Votto. Obviously, not having Freddie Freeman this year doesn't help. You know, those are some big names that aren't on the roster. But at the same time, you look at the youth that's coming up, and it's pretty exciting. I mean, you got Josh Naylor there and Bo Naylor, and you know, then you got young guys like Denzel Clark and Owen Casey that are really, really exciting players. There's just a lot of depth to this team that sometimes I feel like we've lacked on the Canadian roster, where these are all big league caliber players. They're all guys pretty much that have had some time in the big leagues. A lot of them are up and coming, still trying to make a name for themselves, and are hungry. So I think it's a really good mix. On the pitching staff, you've got some experience there with guys like Soroka. You've got Philippe Aumont, who's there again this year. I don't know if it's his 4th or 5th or however many he's been there. I think he was there in either 06 or 09 against Cuba and had a heck of an outing. So he just keeps doing it. But then you got some big arms, guys like Eric Sarantola coming out from the Royals organization. He's a huge arm. You got a guy like Paxton who's done it for a long, long time. Hopefully he's feeling good. So, you know, it's a good mix of veteran balance and then a lot of youth that's coming up that maybe hasn't gotten a lot of experience at that level, but at the same time, you know, they're going to go out and they're going to be excited to play and play really hard.
I want to go back before I let you go too. I got to ask you the 2013 and the brawl that people still talk about, Mexico and Canada. Were you involved? How did that go down? What was your place on the dance floor?
Well, I actually pitched in that game, so I had been taken out by that point in time. And, you know, obviously that was something that happened where if that goes differently, that may have shut down the entire event, right? Like there were some big names there where all of a sudden they get in a brawl in international baseball and aren't healthy for the beginning of the season, that could have really painted a different light on this tournament. But luckily that didn't happen. I was kind of on the outskirts. I know I saw Jay Johnson kind of barrel rolled with one of the Mexican players after throwing a couple of haymakers and kind of rolled outside the pile. And I remember seeing a couple of other Mexican players that were kind of out there, and I just remember thinking to myself, oh, this could be bad. But, of course, got to go get in that mix so that somebody doesn't jump on him and start punching him in the back of the head. And, there's one extra Mexican guy that might be coming for you, too. So at the same time, it's just go try to corral it and hope that not too much damage is done. And obviously, it was a little bit of an unfortunate event, but at the same time, I think it really showed the passion that teams had for that event and how much it really meant to them, too.
Could you sense it coming in that game? Because you say you pitched in that game, or was it something that just kind of boiled over quickly?
Well, what happened was we were up by about 6 runs, I think, in the 8th, something like that, and our leadoff hitter bunted, which is kind of would be against the unwritten rules of baseball in a regular season game. Unfortunately, like 4 years before that, and they had these pre-tournament meetings with all the coaches where they talk about the tiebreaker rules and runs matter. So any run you can score is a big run.
Yeah.
And so they were playing deep on the infield, and our catcher bunted because 4 years ago Canada had actually lost out from advancing on a tiebreaker, runs for and against. And so, he put one down, and then you actually can see it on the replay. The third baseman kind of picks up the ball, and he points to his hip, telling the pitcher basically to plunk the next guy. Next guy's Renee Tassoni, steps up, and honestly, if they hit him on the first pitch, there's probably no brawl. But they throw at him once, and they miss him. They throw at him again, and they miss him. Then there's warnings issued to both benches. And so it's like, okay, you think it's kind of the end of it. But then they threw at him a third time and finally hit him. And it was like, okay, well, that's a little bit too much. So benches cleared, and there wasn't too much going on until our bullpen got in, and we had a couple characters in that bullpen, and then on the team that are a little bit excitable, and then things kind of got going, and that's where you see some of the better highlights, I guess. Some of the, I think Tyson Gillies jersey the guy, and Jay Johnson was throwing haymakers, and there was all of a sudden a lot more than just a little pushing and shoving going on.
Oh man, yeah, it's epic footage to watch for sure. And then lastly, Andrew Albers, the odds changed. I think Japan was hot out of the gate, but now the Americans are the front runners. Dominican and Japan next, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Mexico, then Canada as far as odds go. The Americans, do you agree with that? Are they the team to beat going into this?
It's interesting. I'd say they're the most talented team, and if this was played 3 months later, then I think they'd be the favorites. The Japanese teams generally start their spring about a month ahead of time, so they started in early February. So they're a little bit more in that mid-season form, and that's shown, I think. I think they've won 3 out of the WBCs, 3 out of the 5. So I mean that's kind of proof, and also how they play the game. They're an incredibly unselfish group. They're going to do whatever they can, to scratch runs across or play defense or play the small ball. That's something that kind of gets lost on a lot of the North American teams. And they really, for them, it's a huge honor, obviously, to play for the team, but that name across the chest means everything to them. And they're all so dedicated to that and playing that team game and just finding ways. They're very scrappy. So I certainly wouldn't put anything past Japan. They've got a lot of talent over there. We've seen some of the arms come over. Obviously, everyone knows about Ohtani, Yamamoto after his World Series appearance. But, I was fortunate enough to play with him for 3 years. He's just outstanding. And then, obviously, a lot of talent over there. So should be a good matchup. The Dominican, they're another team on paper that is as good as anybody. Those guys are incredibly talented. I think we saw that. I think it was 17 that they won it. Just an unbelievable roster, and they have another great roster again this year. So, and when you come down to one tournament or one game, kind of a one-game tournament, all of those teams are talented enough to beat anybody on any given day. So it's, who makes the mistake and who gets the big hit in the big moment, and that's generally what separates the teams on that day.
What insight. This has been so good. Canada fires tomorrow. Andrew Albers, again, as always, thank you so much for doing this here on the Sports Cage. Really looking forward to watching it. And I might sprinkle a little bit on Canada. You got me going on the one game showdown thing, so you never know. Thanks for doing this again, Andrew.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Barney.
10 a.m. our time tomorrow. Supposed to be the first pitch. Canada-Colombia at the World Baseball Classic. It is the Sports Cage on this Friday for Nelson Holmes, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
That garage door has seen better days. After a long winter, it's grinding, struggling, and barely getting you into spring. And right now, it's asking for a little TLC. Whether that's a professional tune-up or a full replacement, Busy Bee Doors knows that a working garage door isn't just about convenience. It's a part of being a good homeowner. So take care of it now with help from Busy Bee